Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us at the regular Dearborn Heights City Council meeting, which is called to order today at 6:09 p.m. Madam Clerk, may you please take roll call?
Hassan Ahmad,
Present.
Moby June,
Present.
Nancy Breyer. Here. Robert Constant, absent. Denise Malinowski Maxwell is absent. Hassan Saab.
Present.
And Tom Wenzel is absent. Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you, and I believe Councilman Constant is on his way. He said he was parking, and Councilman Wenzel asked me to read something at the start of the meeting. So if you don't mind, Madam Clerk, before we begin, it says, "Hello, my fellow Dearborn Heights residents. You may have noticed that I've missed the last few meetings. About a month ago, I was involved in a serious situation. The results are much worse than anticipated. As a result, I am unable to attend the meeting. In the meantime, I've kept up with the events and situations." I don't know why this is unmuted.
What's the matter?
Sorry. "As a result, I am unable to attend a meeting. In the meantime, I've kept up with events and situations in the city and, more importantly, keeping in contact with our residents about their concerns. I will be releasing more elaborate information soon. In the meantime, bear with me while I work with this out, and please pray for health and peace throughout the world. Your city councilman, Tom Wenzel." So I just want everybody to know that Tom and I have been communicating through the past couple of weeks. He is dealing with some unforeseen situations, and he prays that everything will be okay, and he wants to attend, hopefully he'll be at our next city council meeting. So my heart is with Councilman Wenzel and his family. Madam Clerk, please also set the record that Councilman Constant is present here with us. And
Will do.
Madam Clerk, can you please take roll call? Oh, you already did.
Ed Bob.
We have
Pledge of Allegiance.
the Honorable Vince Strapkowski's wife with us here today, who's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. You may be seated. Why did Vince get so nervous? I don't know. Next up, we have the agenda approval.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the agenda for the regular meeting of June 24, 2025 as submitted.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion?
Council Chair,
Councilman?
I would like to add another motion on the agenda for budget amendment, please. That would be 11B.
You want to add it to
11B, son?
second? Well, hang on. This just has to be under a fund transfer. Don't you just got to add it to a claims?
No, this is budget amendments.
Okay, yes, go ahead. You're right.
9M.
9M?
9M.
Okay. Councilman Ahmad, go ahead and add that.
Council Chair, I'd like to amend my motion to add 9M to the agenda.
Second.
Yep. Councilman Saab, do you concur?
Yes.
Okay, you want to read that? Or say what it is?
You want to read it now or leave it till we get to it? Wait till we get to it.
Okay. We'll wait until you get there. Thank you so much. Any other discussion? Well, with amending the agenda with adding 9M on there, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Next up is the minutes of the special meeting of June 11th, 2025.
Council Chair.
Yep, Councilman Saab.
Move the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the minutes of the special meeting of June 11, 2025 as outlined in 4A.
Support.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All right, all in favor, please state aye. Let's all engage.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Next up is the minutes of the regular meeting of June 11, 2025.
Council Chair.
Councilman
I
Saab.
move the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the minutes of the regular meeting of June 11, 2025 as outlined in 4B.
Support.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Next up is public hearings and public comments. You have 2 minutes. If you've requested for an additional minute, you can let me know, but I don't believe anybody but the treasurer did. So you can go to 3 minutes to our treasurer.
3 minutes.
Yeah, she gets an additional.
Thank you, Council Chair, honorable council members. I wish to address just a quick question on item related to 9C, which is the Community Development Block Grant Annual Action Plan. I just seeking clarification from the director, and I'm sorry I didn't have a moment to call you today because it's very busy in Treasury. We're getting ready for tax time. But can you tell me the date that you did the notice for the funding availability, the NOFA, N-O-F-A, that's required for publication, so other, like, public service organizations can apply for the grant funding before you submitted a plan to the council? That's my first question, is when was the NOFA publication served or available and published? And the second question, or not really a question, but a statement, when I'm looking at the what was submitted on the agenda, just for the honorable body to know, and I have from the website, we could, if they want that, but they may have already checked it out. The submission deadline for HUD is August 16th. 2025, not June 28th. So just so you know, so you're not feeling like you're pressured to do this without whatever due diligence you're going to exercise today. So those were my question or concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. She can have the director Saad speak on that when the agenda item gets brought up. Thank you. Anything else? Anyone else from the audience? Please step up. Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Angela Venegas, Dwight Street, Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Good evening, guys. How you guys all doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. I got a few concerns, and I guess my biggest issue lately is the crime that's been going on here in the Heights, the shootings, the driving, the accidents. We had the 6-car accident on Kingsbury. All I have to do is listen to my Nest camera, the speeding that's going on in the neighborhood. Just wondering what we're doing to remedy all this that's going on. And the gun involvement in the neighborhood has gotten really bad, both north and south end. My next concern, of course, is the short-term rental / Airbnb. When's this going to be brought before council? When's it going to be taken care of? You know, I just don't want me and other residents to have to go through this all summer long with an Airbnb next door with all the trouble there. And I don't know, last council meeting, I brought up the grass on Beach Daily on the east side where the kids walk to and from school. Whoever cut the grass, I want to thank them. I don't know if it was our DPW department.
Artistic landscaping.
Thank you, whoever cut it. Now we need to address the issue on the other side. The west side is higher than the guardrail, and it's actually growing into the street, and I believe that's a county issue, so maybe your buddy Kniezek can hop on the ball and get that done. It looks terrible. It's really starting to look bad in a lot of areas. So, and again, I want to bring up like Saab does. We got a lot of residents here who aren't cutting their grass and taking care of their weeds. We got to start. It makes our city look bad. And it starts with all of us. So just want to put that out there.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Venegas. I can't answer to many things except for the short-term rentals. This planning commission meeting just took place. The minutes from there would have to be typed up, approved by the body, and then you can bring it before the city council. But the first big initiative was disappointing to find out that it didn't unanimously pass across the planning commission. And for those that voted against it, shame on them, and I can publicly say that to them. But this will come before this body, and if anybody that on this body here doesn't vote in support of that, shame on them as well. But we have to go through the proper channels, and if not, then our ordinance does not stand. So it went through the right proper channel. The minutes will be written up. It'll be approved. The minutes will have to be approved by us first, and then we can bring it to the agenda. And so until those minutes are approved by us, so there might be 2 meetings before you see anything brought forward, but once it's brought forward, it will. If the chief wants to speak about the crime rate that's taking place, that's on him. I can't speak to that.
Council Chair, may I address your comment about the shame on people for objecting to
Short-term rentals?
any short-term rentals? I think that how there were about 15 points pointing out with that ordinance and contradictions in it, and there are problems with it. That'll come up when it comes to a meeting. But it's people's rights to say. I think there was only one person, Ms. Angela Venegas, that really complained about anything in particular, and it was a public comment section. Just for the record, Councilman. There's a lot of people that do not disagree with what you're saying about this ordinance. And hopefully
Point of
there'll
order,
be people
point of
who get
order,
a chance to
please.
speak.
Point of order, Angela. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. I will publicly still say it again, anybody that does not support a halt on this short-term rental, which is causing danger, nobody bought their home to say, I want to live in a commercial neighborhood. Nobody. So yes, shame on anybody that doesn't stand with our residents. Go ahead, Chief.
So as you know, obviously, I've been up here before, and I've told you we're short-staffed, and I'm going to continue to reiterate that, but
Nothing from the audience, please, or I'm going to have to
we
ask you to
continue to
leave.
run TSP. We continue to go out here and write tickets. We've written at an all-time rate since I've been here. I spoke with Judge Sherfy the other day, and he told me that he could see the difference. So we're going to continue to write tickets during TSP and during our normal patrol. As far as the shootings, the crime rates went up. We've had a couple incidents. Summertime's around. People are drinking a little bit more. We had a shooting, domestic violence shooting, road rage that happened on our south end. We apprehended the guy. He was charged 2 days later. As far as the car accidents that you inquired about on Kingsbury, I mean, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, guy's driving intoxicated, and he hit into 4 vehicles. Yes, he was placed in custody and he was charged. We have one of the top police officers in the state of Michigan. His name is Bilal Bazzi, and he's written 275 drunk driving tickets. Second place in the state of Michigan was 60. So as far as drunk drivers in this city, we lead the state in arrests for drunk drivers. Okay, so, I mean, it's summertime, crime rate's gonna go up, we're gonna continue to keep doing what we do. We're really proactive, we're trying to do everything we can to bring down that crime rate. Trust me, when the shooting comes out, we have something in our city like that, it hurts us just as much as it hurts you. We had a guy in the south end the other day, had a shotgun, and he threatened to shoot up his whole family. Our officers responded there, placed him in custody, were able to confiscate the weapon. You know, there's certain things that we can enforce, certain things we can't. We can't do nothing about people in their house, wanting to shoot their guns in the air and threaten their families. We get there, we arrest them, and we charge them.
And I will say it on to the chief. I was in the neighborhood yesterday with the gentleman that was just in his home. The family has asked and requested that he goes into a psych ward. They believe that he was mentally stable. He's the son of the family members, and I actually spoke with the family members yesterday. My heart goes out to them. Some things you just can't control. Something triggers in somebody's mind, and he's living at home. He starts shooting outside and starts threatening his parents. We really can't say that crime rate is going up. That's a domestic dispute amongst the family. And so, I can tell you that situations like that in the 4 a.m. driving is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Some of those things, like, I think in any city or in any police department would have been able to contain that and stop that from happening.
Correct. Thank you.
I thank Chief.
Council Chair?
Thank you,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to piggyback on that. Tonight, I had someone cut me off on Gully. Then I had someone run a stop sign on Midway. And then I looked down Silvery Lane because I saw police lights and somebody was learning a math lesson. So it's everywhere. And they are doing all they can. There were some great statistics out there that they'd done between, I believe, April 1st and May 14th that were really amazing. And other cities are trying to do the same. We just got to all watch as best we can and be careful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just to piggyback on what everyone's saying, also there are new laws regarding guns in the home, keep your guns locked up, secure, not loaded, and especially for any type of domestic situations. We can avoid a tragedy if everyone keeps their guns locked up and not accessible to children or anyone else who's mentally ill.
Thank you. I do, ma'am. Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on. You look lovely today.
Yeah, thanks. I don't like standing up here, but every year I say, I'm coming. I'm finally, a lot of them said things that I already wanted to say.
Ma'am, your name
I'm
first
Faye
before you.
Shammy. I'm on Rosetta. I live in Dearborn Heights.
Najat Nun's mother.
Okay. Okay, doggone, you made me nervous. Wait,
Bob Paduce's sister.
okay, yes, okay.
You guys are making
I've been on Rosetta for over 36 years, and it was always nice. When I came in, I was probably one of the only, maybe two families that even had kids. And now there are a lot of little kids, and I'm sorry, I want to use the word, we got a lot of psycho drivers. As it is, we have people coming through the neighborhood because they come to work, and they don't want to go around and do the turnaround off of Outer Drive, off of Ford Road to get on Outer Drive. So they constantly are through my neighborhood. That is not bad. It's the people that live in the neighborhood. We've actually said things to them. Some of them we personally know. Maybe we know their parents, and my husband will say something. They won't come back through. But there are some now that are literally stopping in front of our homes and gunning the cars and making noises. We've had, in the past years, we've asked the police to come and just watch. And I've had some say, oh, I don't see anything. There's no way that you don't see. You could take care of all the tickets and make so much money, just sit on my street. You will not believe how they drive. It's ridiculous. And then another thing she was talking about, grass being cut. I've got like at least 4 or 5 homes on my street where my husband very intimidating. He went up to them and said, listen, why is your house like this? So they start cutting their grass. Another one, we had to hire someone for them to agree to get their grass cut. Now, we've got one that the bank has owned. It's been there at least 10 years on the corner of Bonaire and Rosetta. It's been boarded. It's disgusting. There's weeds, there's tall grass, and it does not get cut. I know you can't stop me.
Since her time is up.
How you doing, ma'am? Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on.
Whitefield Street. So what she was coming here to ask was, what she was here, the whole purpose for coming here was because she wanted to discuss speed bumps on her street. And we've discussed the, situation with, budget and all of that stuff. And so her next question was, if the city is not able to do that, can the residents of that street or that neighborhood, can they, with approval, obviously, of the city, and can they pay to have speed bumps placed on their roads? I know it was discussed before. I don't know where and what happened with that.
I'm not the city engineer, so I cannot speak on behalf of that. I don't think that we can just go ahead and allow residents to put speed bumps all over the city, because then you're going to be driving, and every time you drive, it's just, what really needs to happen is first of all, we need to make sure that we have our site plan across the entire city. There should have been a master plan like we said there would be 4 years ago, which we still don't have. And really, this is something that should have been discussed 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago.
Right. So I had that, she wanted to come, she wanted to ask. I kind of went over some of those things with her. We see it happening in neighboring cities, petition or not, Mom, it doesn't matter. So there's a whole plan that has to happen. So you see it happening in other neighborhoods, in other cities, and I will say for myself, driving down Military, now that there's speed bumps, because normally it's 25, and I even would find myself going over that, admittedly, and now that they're there, you're like, oh, I gotta slow, you definitely have to watch your speed. So that was why she came today, but thank you.
Thank you. Council Chair?
Yes, sir.
I think this is a problem that everybody needs to work together on it. Haji Najjar? I think this is a problem. Everybody needs to work on it. Like in our neighborhood, we have a neighborhood chat, and basically everybody has cameras. And we have Dearborn Heights Connect application. Take a picture of the license plate, upload it to that application. It goes to the ordinance department. They'll forward to the police department, and they'll get ticketed.
I don't carry my phone all the time.
What is it?
You're sitting in the line. I'm watching.
Don't you have cameras outside? Even if you have, no? What's your address? No, just.
A lot of my neighbors, I can't, mine's not on.
If your neighbors have cameras, just got the license plate, use the app, Dearborn Heights Connect. I mean, this app is for a reason, so please use it. Upload stuff. We're gonna have a video coming up soon just to teach you how to use the app. So please, if you can use the app, upload the pictures, and it goes to the, appropriate department, and they'll take it from there. You wanna go back? Is it okay, Council Chair?
I'll give you 30 more seconds.
She's not going to like to hear that she's a senior citizen, but you do have,
Why did we say
you do have senior citizens who are not going to be able to run out if they don't have cameras to go snap pictures of license plates, unfortunately. So we need to think about like bigger picture. I get it. It's another option for residents, but our seniors are not going to be able to, they literally, like she said, I'm ready to go drive around her street and I will be calling Chief Hyden over there, telling him where this car is, because there's a car that now stops in front of their house and just antagonizes them and revs his engine. So I'm looking for the burnt orange car tomorrow in Military Hill subdivision.
And there is a Military Hills group chat. I'm a part of it. If you know what kind of car it is, send it in there, call them out on it. I mean, believe it or not, that Military Hills group chat is so active. Yeah.
Council Chair? I attended the Inkster City Council meeting last week. They talked about speed bumps. They have them. They have the ones that can be taken down in the wintertime and put back. They had a grant the first time that paid the 40 grand. Now the city has to come up with 40 grand every year to take them down and put them back up. So they want to take theirs away. They're being damaged by the weather, and people, it's not working. So that's one reason why not. And the other is you've got emergency vehicles that have a hard time going over those. I've been to Cornwall, what used to be, Oakwood Hospital. They have 5 speed bumps, 2 varieties. They say you can go 15, but I find I'm safer at 12. They were horrible. There are 5 just in the entrance. It does slow the people down, but it can do damage to your car.
Thank you. We will discuss this in the future. How you doing, sir? Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Drapkowski, Columbia Street. I'm here to speak on item 9B. This rezoning, there's too many unanswered questions with this project. I know that people want to move forward and all that, but still, I'd like to have some more solid answers to what exactly is going to be happening, instead of, well, we think we want to do this, but we want to see how the money holds out. Well, if you're planning to build something or whatever, you should know how much money you've got to spend and how far you can take your project. So I'm not a professional at it, but I know if I'm going out car shopping, I know what my budget is, and I know I can't go over it. So, and the other thing is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that the police department was told to go out and hire officers as soon as possible. Now, if this administration doesn't want to do that, fine, but shame on the administration. And if there's somebody...
Point of order, right? Speak to me. Go through the chair.
If there's somebody, if this administration doesn't want it, shame on them.
Yeah, I agree,
All right?
but let's not...
The city comes first, the residents come first, and if the mayor wants blood on his hands, he'll probably end up getting it someday. I'm just saying, it's getting ridiculous out there. Gunshots on the street a couple hours ago, and, how many times is it going to happen before they wake up?
And I don't know why we're not going up, because we budgeted for it, so...
Yeah.
Well,
So, where's the mayor? Come and talk to us. Dan Palacco would. What are you doing, hiding behind your skirt?
Vince, can you smile for a second?
How's that?
Thank you. All right, let's get going here.
Want a picture?
We just want to smile at you. We know you're a happy camper.
I am a happy camper.
Thank you. How you doing, sir? It's been a long time.
Yes.
Zuhair, Abdul Haq, Rosemary Street.
Zuhair Abdul Haq, Rosemary, Dearborn Heights.
See Rachel laughing.
Couple issues. First, the $67,000 for Mr. Mayatki. I think it should be paid, and the mayor should sign it, because when he was on the city council, he took Mayor Palatko to court to force him to sign a contract with the lawyer which the city council hired at that time. So there is a precedence, and you have the law on your side, and if he doesn't sign the payment, It's unfortunate that you have to take him to court, and if he doesn't pay it, he will be in contempt of the court, and I hope he'll go to jail. The second issue, sorry, but that's my feeling. Okay? He has basically ignored the city for a long time, and I hear the shooting in our streets, which I never heard it in 32 years living in the city, and he doesn't even have the decency to show up to the city council, at least to talk to the residents or respect the people who voted for him, the people who trusted him, and the people who really wanted him to succeed. 9D, the federal rules that every 5 years you have to go out for bid for any contract. It looks like they waited until last week. The contract is over in July 1st, which is 7 days from now, and this is becoming a habit that we wait until last minute to bring something to the city council. Either you take it or you leave it.
Council,
Sorry,
just 1 second. You can pause this time. I remember this last year, we actually asked for it to go off for bid.
it is always under federal laws. The federal government recommend that you go out every 5 years for bid. At least I recommend, so we don't have vacant time, extend it for 3 months and ask the director, Ms. Saad, to go out for bid, because we might have better deal, and I'm sure maybe Wake Trim will come back and reduce their prices. So that is in the benefit of the city, and I hope you do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Sue Kaminsky, Amboy Street. I wasn't planning on coming up, but I know people are frustrated, and in the summer there is more crime. I still want to know where our reserves are. Someone said they needed new uniforms. Let's get them uniforms. Let's get them out there. There was 14 cars on my street, garbage day. I don't know what the ticket is for that, but 14 cars, not my street, it was like 4 streets. It was Amboy, Kennedy, both Kennedys actually, and Clearview. Let's get them their uniforms and get the reserves on the street so they can do the tickets that's been discussed over and over and over. For a city that has problems with money, when we could take care of a lot of our finances, and to make people in the city happy by seeing a squad car come down their street, it would pacify a lot of the concerns. People wouldn't know it was a reserve guy as opposed to a regular police officer. He could still give tickets and still patrol and call in if he sees something that is not within what should be done, not the proper behavior. And as far as the rentals, I would say that there is no resident in this city, unless they own a rental property that they are using for a short-term rental, that wants them. So, and I incorrectly thought that one of the council people had a rental. I apologize. He did not. They don't belong here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's beautiful here today.
Council Chair. Council Chair.
Yes.
We're working closely with the chief of police on, bringing the reserve back in the business like we did with the police explorers. But can they write tickets? I don't think they can write tickets. Reserve cannot write tickets.
There's union issues.
No, reserve cannot write tickets. They can help, but they cannot write tickets.
I think they can do garbage trash day. Cadets could.
Cadets are different than reserve. Cadets are employees. Cadets are employees of the city. They don't hold the gun, but the reserve, they just try to help, be there for events. They're volunteers, so that's why they cannot write tickets or arrest somebody. But definitely, we need to figure out something. But they did help with the festival on the beach, the Spirit Festival, We had the police department, the reserve, we had state police, we had the sheriff. I think they did an amazing job. The chief is doing great, and I think we're heading in the right direction. We just need some time. Thank you.
How you doing, ma'am? Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on.
Renee Myrna, Annapolis, Dearborn Heights, Michigan. What's that? Well, when that lady came up and she was talking about, getting people on the streets, hey, I'm willing to be deputized. I can ticket some cars. Maybe we get some deputized citizens over here to help out or be eyes on the street. And then also, too, I'm just wondering how valid it is if somebody happens to go down the street and take a walking video of the cars that are parked on this street that is time, date stamped, if it would be valid enough to turn into the city for a ticket. Just some ideas that I had. But the reason I came up here was to say, I think the police are doing a darn good job. I have seen so many police on the street. It's been unbelievable. So many stops. It just tells me that they're out there. I have seen them out there a lot. And I go up and down Telegraph all the time. I go up and down my street all the time. And I'm in and out of the subdivisions, and they are there. And I appreciate it. I'm telling you guys are doing a good job. And from what I understand about, we did have, I think, 4 or 5 new hires that went full-time or something in May. And but the rest, they're in the process. And the problem is by the time things get approved, there's still a process that they have to take, education and training and all these things that have to happen. So it's not going to be an overnight process, but I think we're moving in a pretty good direction. And I have to say I'm really happy with how the city council has been looking into the depth of some things now and not just taking things at face value, because the things that are coming up are very hard right now. And I really think you guys are doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Council Chair. I'm sorry, one more. You're right, ma'am. They are doing a great job. And even, I want to mention again, the Police Explorers, I think it's an amazing program. We have about 20 right now. And I do truly believe at least 1 or 2 they're going to turn to be police officers every single year from this program. So I think from now on, we should be, in the future, should be fine having police officers.
I do want to just comment on a couple of things. And so just a quick Google search on if reserves can write tickets. It all falls back down to the policies of the chief. Like in Lincoln Park, they allow them to. Macomb County, they allow them to. Different municipalities, like in the University of Ann Arbor, they allow them to. So it all comes back down. It's not a state mandated, whether they're not allowed. It comes back down to the policies and procedures of the police department. So every police department is actually unique in its own way. So if you gave them limited power or if you gave them full power, it comes back down to ultimately what the policy and procedures are. So can reserve units write tickets? Depending on what power you give them. There's still, like in Lincoln Park, there's two types. There's full power and part-time power. Part-time power drives around, makes sure anybody's parking in front of blocking a sidewalk or has any trash in front of their home can write a ticket. A full power reserve has the right to be able to write any ticket that they want as long as they're in uniform and they're there working and they live in the city. That's their policies. So
let's have the chief look into it.
Yeah, so there is, precedent there. Thank you. How you doing, ma'am? Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
I'm speaking of as the chief of staff.
Oh, okay. I had the treasurer at the same time.
Okay, Mariana Hernandez, Lafayette, Dearborn Heights.
Thank you.
All right, so I have multiple items on the agenda this week, so please be patient with me. So I would like to request for the 2 tuition reimbursement claims to be re-added to the agenda. And I also want to make a public note that item 60 was added without the mayor's approval, and it's also out of budget balance. So there's not enough money there, as well as it's not a common past practice to pay for prior year services in the following fiscal year. So just to note that.
Thank you.
Additionally, on item 7A, there was a mistake in the controller's office. It's been communicated with the clerk and the secretary that the bid tally was missing one of the bidders. The backup is there, but it wasn't on the tally. It's 4. So I would like to update the record so that the backup documents show the official
Thank you.
Bid awarded. Total tally of the bids that we're getting, and then the awarded one, if approved. I would also like to point out that I am in favor of the electronic signatures, however, slightly concerned about the resolution and item 11A, because it has been discussed with our attorney about 2 years ago with the clerk on the permission for that, because we do have multiple contracts that require electronic signatures. For example, most of our grants, our insurances, all of those require electronic signatures. So this would pretty much put a halt on that. So it concerns me because a lot of the items that I deal with require electronic signatures. So I agree with coming up with a policy, but I believe perhaps we can table this until an official policy is put in place, because I don't want to hold anything up that we might have going right now. And I think that's all I had.
Yeah. How is it going to hold up with the grants? I mean, how is it going to hold it up?
So if I have to do an electronic signature, because they send it in an electronic format in different platforms, for example, FEMA has their electronic signature page. That's not forms that I can download and physically sign. They have to be signed
I
in the
understand, but
platforms.
this motion or this resolution says basically putting some measures. Doesn't say to completely take it out.
So it says to stop them, and it also adds on an area that contradicts what the charter says, which says that it has to be within the general ledger items. That is not what our charter says. Our charter says that as long as there's enough funds in the account, that's enough. That's different than the general ledger. So if, for example, one general item goes over in the police department, but there's funding in another area in the police department, the overall department fund is what matters, not necessarily the specific general ledger item. So again, I think that it needs revision with a little bit of the language. Perhaps Plant Moran can help. I don't think that they've seen this before it came to your attention. And then the other item I would like removed, if possible, is item 9A, because we don't have any backup for it, and our engineer and our attorney haven't been able to look at it. That's with regards to the Warren Valley Golf Course parking lot agreement. And again, we just would like to see it before it gets voted on.
Thank you. Councilman Constant?
Yeah, just so everyone's aware, I'm sure our realtors are, there's state law regarding electronic signatures, the validity of them and so forth.
Anyone else in the audience? Before we move it over to Zoom? Zoom will start it off. Ladies, sorry, never mind. So I have one more in the audience. Sorry, Mr. Parrish. Sorry, Margaret King. Sorry, Rachel Lapointe.
Nader
Sir,
Abuzeni.
please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on. You have 2 minutes.
Sure. Nader Abuzeni, Kenmore. Just wanted to discuss regarding the rezoning of the parcel on Ann Arbor Trail. We've been up here a handful of times. Just wanted to put it out there that I'm here and available for any questions if you guys have any. I know that on the agenda, I believe the building director is scheduled to talk about that. Just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware. I'm available if there's any questions or anything along those lines. I'm happy to answer anything that you guys want from here today.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and start ladies first. Let's start off with Rachel Lapointe. Madam Clerk, please unmute her.
Hello. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we're down to like 28 hours now.
I know, so gotta take advantage of this and go quick, right? So, Rachel Lapointe, Merrick Street, Dearborn Heights. Regarding the Airbnb ordinance, I know it's not actually on the agenda tonight, but I've yet to see any Airbnb owners coming out and speaking in favor of a different plan. If there are Airbnb owners that want to do that, they should do that soon. Regarding the bill for Mr. Miyake, I am fully aware of everything going on with that. I am a little disappointed that the portion for the 23-24 fiscal year wasn't billed before that fiscal year was closed and audited. It is so important for that to happen. I know Mr. Miyake understands that importance. I understand that there might be other concerns, but there should have been a way to figure out how to get that billed during the correct fiscal year or before the audit was complete. Regarding the CDBG action plan, our treasurer already addressed a couple of the things that I had noticed about the NOFA. I was not able to find any evidence that that had been published for the public. The deadline item, I had actually verified with my uncle, who used to work for the city, Chris Klimchuk. He's the current director of CDBG in Taylor. And he did verify that August 16th is the deadline for that. I noticed that there were some blank pages and missing items, like the certification at the end. I don't think you guys should approve it without that being complete. And then in general, the public hearings were not well advertised. I had no idea that they had happened. The last few years, they've even happened during council meetings, or at least been talked about multiple times at council meetings, so the public was fully aware. And as a board member of a nonprofit here in the city that the previous CDBG director had us on his list to contact us to make sure that we were able to apply for funding for this plan, we were never notified because of I guess the new director didn't get that message, and there
I'm
was
gonna give you
no
10 more
public-
seconds, Mrs. Lapointe. You're over your time.
Since there was no public notification of that for us to even apply, that needs to be rectified, and then I think we need to go back out for another public hearing.
Thank
on
you
that
so much.
Before it's approved.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Thank you. All right, next up, Mrs. King. Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on. You got 2 minutes.
Margaret King, Mayfair Street, Dearborn Heights. I just wanted to let everybody know I agree with all the crime that's going around in the city. Just in a matter of less than a week, there was the shooting that happened after I had found out when I was there on Tuesday. And then just, the gentleman with the gun, it's not even a mile away from me. I have lived in the city for over 37 years and I've never seen it like this. It's quite scary, especially when if I wasn't there on Tuesday and I was walking Riley, I would have been right there when that shooting and that happened. So just a reminder, please everybody slow down when you're driving. Kids are out, kids are playing in streets, and it's just, it's very concerning to me as a citizen in my city that this crime has gone up in my eyes, and I have been here I will be 38 in September. So it's very scary to me.
Thank you, Mrs. King.
Yeah, thank you.
It's definitely very alarming to everybody in this community. Thank you. Mr. Parrish, long time no see. We missed you. Please unmute him.
I know. Unfortunately, welcome back. Thank you. Thanks, Councilman Sal. Dana Parrish, Brindley Park Street, Dearborn Heights.
You got 2 minutes. Thank you.
I wanted to talk with you all about the bill from Mr. Miyake. Obviously, everybody who does work in the city needs to be paid. I just want to draw attention to what was already said about the previous fiscal year. That should have been brought up. In fact, I brought that up at the end of the last fiscal year and was told that those bills were pro bono. And in fact, in the contract with the city attorney, or with him, it says attorney will submit monthly bills to client for all fees, costs, and expenses. Client shall cause to be paid the fees, costs, and expenses within 30 days. So monthly bills is a key term there. So this didn't happen until a significant time after. I'm not saying don't pay them, but let's stay by what's in the contracts. That's a contract between the city and special legal counsel. Second is, and I talked to Council Chair Baydoun about this, I had an incident occur June 12th at about 8:30 p.m. And I called the police department. And being a retired officer, I know how hectic it can be. I spoke to dispatcher 949, who, by the way, refused to give me her name and slammed the phone down when I asked her for it. When I called back, I said, I want to talk to the supervisor, dispatcher, or the patrol supervisor. She said, who is this? I said, this is a Dearborn Heights resident. She said, oh, we're going to play that game, are we? I said, I'm not playing a game. I need to talk to the supervisor. Some time went by. She then transferred me to some supervisor who is long since the city of Dearborn Heights, because I've not received a phone call back, and I know our police department is better than that. If these phone calls, incoming phone calls, aren't being recorded on every line, we need to do that. Because when I was in Taylor, every phone call was recorded. Every phone call on every line in the whole department. Every phone call. not just 911. So I don't want to have to call the police department, call 911 to tell them that a car is blocking the sidewalk. But if that's the only way it's going to get, the quality is going to be guaranteed, then guess what? Then I guess we're going to have to tell every resident to call 911 so they don't get disrespected the way I was that night. And if the chief would like to call me on this, I can give him more information. Council Chair Baydoun, feel free to give the chief my personal cell phone. He can call me anytime. But that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Parrish. And thank you, Mr. Parrish. I want you to know, I'm going to pause your time, because I actually didn't even start it. So you got a little bit more than 2 minutes.
That's okay.
But I spoke to Chief Hyder on this, and he told me he was looking into it. He is looking at this and said they will be reprimanded. The chief and I had those conversations, and he was very disheartened by it, especially knowing, one, you're a resident, nobody should be treated like this. Secondly, you know, I explained to him that you're also a retired police officer. He was extremely livid when him and I spoke on the phone about it. He's nodding his head right now. I will share your contact with him now that you publicly stated that I could. I know you've already given me that permission, but I was waiting to hear back from the chief, but hopefully he should be able to call you back on it. And it's I've heard this. I mean, not just in our dispatch department, but across a lot of places where residents come and they want to have a conversation with somebody, they just feel disrespected. It's crazy.
And I was not rude to this lady. I didn't swear. I didn't raise my voice. I simply, wanted to get somebody, and when I spoke to them about the situation, it was, I was blown off. And this is a situation about blight. You've got an abandoned building that's been burned, that Dearborn Total Automotive, and let's see if the vehicle's stolen. That's the police's job. And then if it's not, then the ordinance can come out the next day or two, come get it. Simple.
Thank you.
That's what has to happen. And that still hasn't happened, by the way. It's still sitting there.
Chief, I'll get in contact with you on that one.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Mr. Parrish.
Thank you, sir. Have a good
Anyone
night.
else in the audience? Anyone else in Zoom? I'm gonna stop eating pretzels now. Next up is fund transfers and current claims.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
Move the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the current claims and ACH wire transfers 6-1 through 6-27, 6-29 through -6-33, and 6-35 through 6-60 as submitted.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad.
Seconded by Councilwoman
It was me.
Breyer.
He didn't say nothing.
Did you say something, Councilman?
I did, but at the same time, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can.
Guys, I swear, I'm so sorry. I don't even mean to pick it, but he did say something. That's why I said his name. Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion on this? I will say I just want to respond quickly to our chief of staff. Can you tell me, for number 28, how much money we have in our longevity? And is this coming out of the longevity? And do we have any remaining money in the longevity? Are we just saying that we're going to pay this? And I'm speaking directly on, 28. I'm speaking on both. Is the officer. Where is that money coming from?
So that money is coming from the GL 101300825.000, which is a tuition back. Those funds have been depleted before that officer was given his reimbursement. However, it is a contractual obligation to pay that officer based on the police contract. I do want to also speak on the other one. I know you don't want.
Hang on one second. Let's stick to one right now. The money's been depleted.
Yes.
You said pay him. From where?
It would have to come from fund balance.
You don't even have money in fund balance anymore.
You have money in fund balance, but it would make the current balance negative in terms of revenues versus expenditures. However,
Do me a favor.
Council Chair, I just want
Hang on, I got it for you guys. Come up with money that's not depleted, that's not being spent, and bring it before us. And if you can do it by the end of the night, that's great. If you can't, don't tell us to come into a fund balance and say, well, we made promises, we never brought it to the council, we didn't inform the council, but we want you guys to deplete our
I can do
accounts.
a part of my budget amendment. I'll add it's only.
Thank you so much.
It's $1,473 that we need to come up with.
No, it's $10,623.44.
There was 9,000 in the account to pay that. So there's $1,473 of overage, like overspending.
Yeah. Don't come to us and ask for the fund balance anymore. Look, that is an absolutely no, at least for me. Can't speak on the rest of the council,
Council Chair.
but find it and come back and we'll
I
work on 28.
understand. I'm just saying that.
And then we can look at 34, but I think there's policy and procedures saying that, there's old precedent that all directors get this extra money if they go to school. Well, I want you to know, when Chief Swope was here and he was the director, he came before us in a written agreement, got that approved, and then got the money. Because Councilman Ahmad held them to say that you have to follow the right proper policy and procedure.
Council
We're not
Chair.
just going to sign off on something. Roger, when I'm done, I'll let you speak on it. Thank you so much.
I understand, Council Chair.
But we're not going to keep coming before and say, hey, it's depleted, just pay the money.
No,
Like,
with
no, what world
Ms.
is that okay?
Ms. Saad is not depleted. It's coming out of a GL account that had funds in it. Human
You
resources.
said you're $1,400 short. Okay, let's figure out 28, Mahdi, please.
No, I understand. I want to make something clear. The directors and the employees get paid out of their department's GL numbers.
I understand that.
Director Saad is being paid out of HR, given that she's part of CDBG, so you can't pay out of CDBG. So you're paying out of the next most reasonable account, which is human resources, given that they are in charge of hiring and staff.
Let's start with the first step, please.
Yes, the first step, it's 1473. I can get that.
Let's go work on it and then come back to us before the end of the meeting. Can you do that?
I understand that, but I'm letting you know the other one also
I'm
is
not ready
within
to
budget.
discuss it. I'm discussing one at a time right now.
Okay,
Please.
no problem.
And this is nothing personal, Mrs. Saad, who's in the audience here. I promise you it's not. All we're asking is, I've never seen one director's contract. Right now, the police chief might come up to me and say, well, it's in my contract. Great, I've never seen your contract. This body right here, the check and balance, let me just teach you guys how this works in government 101. The governor wants to do something.
Council Chair.
The governor wants to do something, they ask the legislator for the money to be approved. You don't just spend the money and come back and say, hey, approve it. We've never seen a contract. And don't give me the old precedent, that's how it was done in the past. Hang on. In the past, they made $60,000 as a director. So if you paid for somebody's tuition, it was understood. Now you're paying somebody an X amount of money and saying, we're going to give you $115 and we're also going to pay for your college. That never happened. There was no precedent in that ever in the past. So if we want to follow the rules, and we want to be proper, follow the rules. Give us a contract.
Council Chair.
That's all I'm saying, because no contract was given to us for any director.
It's a fringe benefit.
There should be a contract.
It's the
Then we don't have to give any money.
It's the Council Chair, if I may.
Upon signature and hire, there's an offer letter made to employees. The offer letter was given to me as well as to anybody else.
I've never seen an offer letter for us.
It's any non-union employee gets an offer letter meaning, hey, you're going to get paid X amount of wage. You're going to get X amount of personal days, X amount of vacation days, X amount of sick days, as well as tuition reimbursement up to $10,000 per year. Now,
Guys, nothing from the audience, please.
Council Chair, you are correct, and in terms of a director pay or directors or non-union tuition, that should be budgeted for and brought to council beforehand before a person goes out and takes classes.
Guys, please, nothing from the audience.
Now, I do understand that. Now, the police officer, that one was a contractual
I agree.
expense.
So please find it and then come back to us, please.
No, I'll find that, but I'm just giving you the gist
I know.
of it.
I want to get this meeting running. All I'm asking you is to find it. Let's get the meeting going, please.
I understand.
Thank you.
Council Chair,
No
if I
problem.
may.
Thank you.
Thank
Council
you.
Chair,
Yes,
if I
sir,
may.
Roger.
Yes, so just in terms of a narrative correction, Chief Swope had tried about, I think it was 8 times, he was rejected until the time for the class that he was requesting passed.
Right.
That was added to their lawsuit when the lawsuit was amended because we were frustrating his education. I would say kudos to Justin Dayrog. He's the dispatcher in 911 dispatch in Dearborn that just got accepted to medical school, overcame cancer, but was paid for by Dearborn for his going further with his education. The amendment in 2001, 2000 that was passed, the ordinance that was passed, does not require that that anyone seeking tuition reimbursement come to the city council. It goes to the administration. They pay first out of their pocket as a correction. Then they're paid back, which will protect in case them leaving after they've paid. In addition, number 60 on Mr. Miyake has not followed the charter. And when it was referenced that how there was, not 2019, I reviewed the case that was passed for a lawyer to be appointed special counsel for audit purposes, not as an independent corporation counsel or special counsel. And Mr. Miyake was not allowed into the case per se. City council was in the federal case. Plus, the bills are not appropriate to be billed, has not been approved by the mayor. The contract's not been approved by the mayor. You can't change an ordinance. You can't change the charter with a resolution which was passed by council, which does not allow you to amend an ordinance or change the charter. And in addition, I think that addresses 28 and 34, how we have a contract in the collective bargaining agreements that allows our workers to better themselves. As I mentioned, Ruth Canfield had made a specific note. The treasurer at the time, the controller at the time, wrote briefs and memos. I have copies of it. I've sent it to you that says that how this is to educate our workers. Why don't we want to educate our workers? Why don't we want to improve our quality? We will have the money. We have not seen anything from our audit that was just performed and presented to us with an 8% profit. I've looked at Plant Moran's audit, and also their additions financially. It doesn't say we can't pay for these tuitions. It doesn't come to council, though. It goes to the administration, the director, and then is approved.
I just want to add you a quick correction. Plant Moran actually told us we're hemorrhaging because we have no money. I mean, I don't know, but go ahead, Council.
Council Chair. So you keep saying the mayor. Who's the mayor? Where's the mayor?
Oh, no, okay, I'm glad you said that. I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Mayor. The mayor is here. The mayor is here 5 days a week, 7 days, 80 hours a week.
Let him interrupt you, Roger, please.
He's not going to sit here to be insulted. That's wrong.
Okay, Roger, thank you.
Well, I'm insulted. Where is the mayor?
Point of order, guys. Please, I do not want to make this the meeting where I send somebody home.
So regarding contracts, and I'm going to stay firm on this with contracts. We're currently in federal court because certain directors have contracts. So why don't other directors have contracts?
Is that you done?
No answer.
It's okay.
Council Chair.
Are you all set here, Councilman?
That's it.
All right, I'm going to open it up next to Gary Miyake.
Yes, Council Chair, just to address a couple of issues. I would note that years ago, both in the Canfield and the Pletko administration, normally what would end up happening is fringe benefits would be extended by virtue of a vote of the city council, extending benefits that were given to represented employees, namely union employees, to the department heads for the departments that were overseen by them, as well as to elected officials. As far as I don't know that the Bazzi administration has ever done that. There is also the idea, and I have discussed this previously, of having a financial accountability and transparency ordinance that would make sure that there would be very clear notions of what could be spent. You are not being given correct information with respect to contractual obligations. The contractual obligations that the mayor is able to enter into under section 4.9A of the charter are within the bounds of the budget that is approved by the city council and per the plan for compensation that's been approved by the city council. That is why in this last budget, I recommended language saying not only do things have to be paid proportionally throughout the year with regard to salaries, but also that no severance is to end up being paid, to make sure that we don't have this idea that, oh, well, we just take it from one general ledger account that we want to, like HR, because we can't do it from CDBG. That is absolutely incorrect as a matter of law. So, and in terms of the other issues, I'm not going to address them. If anyone has any questions with respect to my bill, certainly there were certain issues that pertain to the need to maintain certain levels of work product and attorney-client privilege early on in litigation with regard to SWOPE. The SWOPE et al. Case, that is part of the reason why the bills were held. I certainly would like to get paid sooner than later. That was done to improve your honorable body's position with respect to that litigation.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right. Councilman Constant?
I'm all set.
Thank you so much. Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is City Engineer D Bid Award, Bridge Design Services.
Council Chair.
Councilman.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council award the bid for bridge design services for Oak and Hip Bridge to Wade Trim and return the bid bonds to the unsuccessful bidders. In addition, authorize the mayor and clerk to sign the contract on behalf of the city. Furthermore, authorize the mayor and comptroller or clerk to sign the necessary warrants and the treasurer to issue payment from fiscal year 2025-2026, GL account 592-536-924-592 as outlined in 7-A.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion? Mariana, did you have those two additional?
I'm sorry, I thought the clerk gave it to you. It's just one item, really, and it is Michael Baker's tally. It was like the column got cut off in the tally that we gave you.
And then can you tell me how much money is in this GL account?
Yes, just give me 1 second.
592-536-924-592.
This is the,
Do you have the tally?
Yeah, the CDBG, this is a CDBG-DR.
I understand that. I just like to know.
Sorry, I'll give you the number. I'm just doing one at a time. So the tally score was for Michael Baker. That's the one that was missing, and their numbers were 30, 10, 25, 15, 15, 10, 105. So that was their total
30,
score.
10, 15, 15, 10, 105?
30, 10, 25, 15, 15, 10, 105 was the total score on it. And for the general ledger number, can you repeat it for me so I can see it right now?
The GL account is 592-536-924.592.
Yes, there's $2,925,000 for the next fiscal year. So this invoice would be paid in the next fiscal year, so after July 1st.
Yeah, I see 25, 26.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Remember when we asked, when you're putting out GL accounts, just tell us what, because we don't know. Remember, that's how we got all the fund balance spent.
Okay.
We asked to please give us a breakdown, what GL account this is, how much money is there, how much we're spending. And please, even George, like, moving forward, ask them before we make these and we send them over, please. Is that okay? I thought we discussed this last time, right, Madam Clerk? Yeah, we said, please, before they send it over to us, like, don't send it over to us or even put it on the agenda if they're not gonna give us the proper information. This is how we spent money out of fund balance without saying, well, you guys approved it. You know, and that's just being more transparent, like, let the residents know how much money we have, what account's coming from. Thank you.
Council Chair.
Yes.
Just, Mr. D, we have a question. How come, like, the fee is not part of the evaluation? Like,
because this is a qualification-based bid. Again, this money, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Federal grants require you to do a qualification-based bid. Don't ask about money. You do a qualification bid. Who's most qualified, and you rate them based on that. Once you rate them and you select the large, then you enter into how much would you charge. Every step of this process was approved by the feds. Every single step. From the qualification announcement, they get a copy of the RFQ when it goes out, and then the selection committee sends them a selection, and then they review the actual cost after you select the qualification base. This is standard.
So who goes over the evaluation and qualification? We do or the federal?
Both. Both. We have this gentleman over there and the project manager from the feds, Julie. Julie was her name. And
Is
then
that
so
Mehdi?
we
You're
meet,
pointing at Mehdi or?
Maddie, yes.
Okay.
Mr.
So Mehdi and the other gentleman scores those companies?
Together.
Together you score?
Both of us, yes. I provide the technical part and he provides the financial. We meet with, we go over them with the manager from the state. And then the selections are made. If she agrees to that, now she will not enter into an agreement until we have council approval. And then they authorize the money. This is all coming back to the original grant we received last year. That's what it's being paid for.
Okay. Did you have anything else to add, or you were adding something, right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
So this is, you can see there's two steps because this is federal. We had to do a bid qualification for the design services and an RFP for the environmental and SHPO, which is the second item B, basically related to the same thing. Basically, they wanted to know if you have any endangered species and historic. So this is the State Historic Preservation Office, SHPO. And on this one, they actually give you a list of qualified consultants for you to solicit. So you don't just go out and solicit whoever you want. They have determined, pre-qualified some consultants in that field.
Like an approved
So
list.
they give you, pre-qualify them, and then give you that list and say, contact them, and then get proposals, which we did, and we received two, so we selected the low-cost proposal.
So this is, you're talking 7B.
This is 7B, yes. Basically, the same project broken into two contracts, one for design services and one for historic preservation, endangered
So what happens now,
species.
after, like, going back to 7A, so we pick somebody, now we go back to them, and they give you a quote?
Yes, so you select the most qualified, and then you ask them, once they're selected, you ask for a cost for that project. You give them the task and say, this is what I needed to do, give me a price. You take it back to the state and say, these are the numbers we received, we like to go with this. And they review it and say yes or no. In this case, they said, okay.
Okay. So do we, I didn't see the cost in here, did you, is it included?
Yes. Yeah, so the
Is it?
cost
You see it?
came back to us, the cost came back, Madi, the cost came, yep.
So it's not, wasn't included here, was it?
No.
That's why I went through it and I couldn't find anything.
Yeah. Go ahead, Madi. Don't give them.
So yeah, the cost was given to us right after we submitted this, but then again, as Mr. Dibb said, we cannot really give the cost because the state has to approve it before we.
So the state is not approved yet?
Yeah, the state cannot approve anything until you, as a council body, approves the project itself and the selection.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is all 100% state reimbursed. So there isn't anything out of pocket except we get the money back from the state after the project is paid for.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's the federal way of making sure it goes to qualified people. So they wanted to make sure that it's not based on cost. So if it's cheaper to go with someone else, they wanted to go with the most qualified consultant.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you. Yep. So Council Chair, that was the same motion by me, and I think,
Continue, just finish it off.
I think it was seconded by Councilman Saab?
Councilwoman Breyer.
Councilwoman Breyer?
Yes.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, Council Chair. Moving on to 7B.
Take it over.
I move that Dearborn Heights City Council award the bid for the SHPO Environmental Services to Tri-Terra for $9,400 and authorize the mayor and clerk to sign the contract on behalf of the city. In addition, authorize the mayor and comptroller or clerk to sign the necessary warrants and the treasurer to issue a payment from fiscal year 2025, 2026, CDBG, the RGL account 592-536-924-592 as outlined in 7B.
Second. Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? I have a quick question. I know the CDBG dash DRGL account 592-536-924-592. Can I get the balance of that GL account?
It's the same.
Same one. It's the
Right.
2,925,000.
How much are we going to have after we pay off these two things?
Again, we don't know because we don't have a signed contract with what the cost of the project is going to be.
Contract expired, right? That's what happened.
This is a new contract. This is the first time we're
I
ever
know,
bidding
I'm
it.
saying the other one. I'm saying from the last, I was in the restroom when you guys were having those discussions, but expired.
This is a new contract. We've never had a contract for the CDBG-DR project. We've never had this grant
I'm talking
before.
about 7A. It expired.
No, we've never had this grants before. This is the first time we've been awarded this
I'm not
grant.
talking about 7B.
Yeah, 7A.
This two grants are the first time we've ever received them. These are from the disaster recovery from 2021.
This is federal,
It's
federal contract.
Okay.
From ARPA.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. But yeah, both of the bids are coming out of the same account.
Motion made by
which-
Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is reports from city officials. 9A, Council Chairman Baydun, Warren Valley Golf Course Parking Lot Agreement with the Crystal School District.
Council Chair,
Councilman?
since I'd like to make a motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council table this until we have backup, or at least the agreement to look it over.
We did get back up.
Second.
We did get back up, but I know Gary said that he wanted to look at a couple other things, and then also we're going to send this over to Roger to have him also take a look at it. Thank you. Motion made
And
by,
Ali Deeb.
and Ali Deeb. Motion made to table this by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion? I just want to say that on the record on this one, I am 100% in support of helping out our school district. Because, hang on, please, nothing from the audience. I am 100% in support of helping our school district. You know, we can't sometimes say we're in support of our school districts and sometimes we say we're not. At the end of the day, these children are in our community. We need to support them. We need to not drag our feet on this. And so hopefully at the next city council, we'll have this before us. Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor to table this, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is 9B, Building and Engineering Director Watland, rezoning of 33-008-99-009-000 Ann Arbor Trail from R1 to RM.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
I move that Dearborn Heights City Council approve the rezoning of the Ann Arbor Trail lot parcel number 33-008-99-0009-000 from R1 to RM as outlined in 9B.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion? Before we start, can I hear from Rick Watland on this? Rick, are you there?
Who's the one with the?
Good evening. How are you?
Hey, Rick, how you doing?
Good.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
If this were to get approved today, I would still want this, regardless of what happens at the planning commission, I still want this to come before council for final approval. Is that okay?
Yes, which it would, because it would go to planning commission for the final, site, and then it'll come to you.
I don't want the final site approved without this body.
Right, it'll come to you for the final, yes.
And then, okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Council Chair?
Any other discussion?
Council Chair. I had the discussion with Rick before. I thought you told me once we approve it, that's it. It's not in our hand anymore.
No, because once planning commission approves it, it comes to you guys for the final, just to let you know how it's going.
It wasn't approved.
No, it wasn't.
It was a tie. Council Chair.
Yeah, go ahead, Councilman Saab and then Councilman Constant.
I don't mind approving this, but I'd like to stipulate certain conditions on the record. Because I kind of honestly, I feel our planning commission sometimes takes things way outside of their scope.
Guys,
Point of order, please, no from the audience.
Nothing from the audience, Vince. Vince?
I'd like to, if we can put conditions on it, I would support it, but, because I've also heard from the attorney and from the city, from Rick himself, that once this is approved, it's done and over with.
No, that's why I'm asking with the contingency of this coming back before the council.
I want to stipulate that nothing can be approved without coming back to council,
Yeah.
through the planning commission.
Council Chair.
Yeah.
Why don't we wait to vote on it until it's approved by the planning commission? I thought that was the.
It's got to get rezoning first for the project to get approved by the planning commission.
No, because when they voted on it, it means it was tied, so.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it going to go back?
This is only to change the zoning. This is not.
Yeah, from R1 to RM.
Or anything like
Yeah, but the
that.
planning did not.
It did not, so 3-3 is a dead, is a
4-4,
tie.
it was a tie.
Yeah, dead on arrival, so technically.
That's why they sent it to us.
Correct.
Nothing from the audience. So I'm for this, Rick, but I want this to come before the council, please. Because I keep hearing that, this is the carriage before the horse, the carriage before the horse. And we have no plans. You don't know what's happening, the investor don't know what's happening, the residents don't know what's happening, the planning commission don't know what's happening, but we have to approve something. And I think of this very similar to what happened on Amboy and Ford Road. We said we were approving a drive-through for a chicken sandwich place, and it ended up being a coffee shop. If you would have come to me before and said, hey, we're gonna approve this drive-through for a coffee shop, I would have told you absolutely not. So I want this to make sure that this comes before this body for final approval on this. And I know we probably can't compare apples to apples on that, at least for my sake, to be able to say that I'm gonna put the best interest of the residents, I want this to come back before the council. I would ask Councilman Saab and Councilman Ahmad to amend this motion to say that, with the approval of coming back, but for the final approval before the city council.
Council Chair, can we dictate exactly what you're asking? Because it's like pretty broad.
All we're saying is before it's approved,
Okay.
it has to come back, the final
So
approval has to come.
figure if they approve, they come back to us and we don't like it.
For the
Then it
rezoning?
doesn't have to be approved. Doesn't have to be approved. But I mean, I think, really, if you had a master plan in place.
100%, that's why.
You would know what was happening. So in the meantime,
I just want to be clear in the language, so it won't be broad. I want to be clear, because like I said, when I talked to Rick last time, it seems like when we rezone it, that's it. It's not in our hands anymore.
Right.
I don't know if Roger is agreeing too, so.
That's correct, and we wrote a memo on it because it changed back in 2007, that the ordinance took it back from the council and put it with the planning commission. I will revisit the memo and have, and I took actually Gary's, I took another, it was Mark Roberts. We took 5 other cities and we put that together to show what we've done, why we changed it, what we have to do to change it back. We haven't changed it back.
So, Councilor Chair, so Roger, what do you suggest right now? I mean, we're in a dilemma
Well,
here.
the special land use. If the planning commission has passed it, they have the final decision, not the council.
They didn't pass
But
it.
I will pull up the memo and then give it to you on this. So if you want to change it, though, you have to change an ordinance. And I did a draft of ordinance that would take it back from the planning commission to you, the city council.
That
But
passed
we
with Councilman.
went through the pros and cons.
Councilman Ray Muscat. This already passed, you guys. Ray Muscat already put the motion and we passed it unanimously.
But that's for the special land use.
No, for even zoning.
Even zoning?
Yes, even zoning, special land use and zoning. So if a car wash want to come in, they have to come before the city council and zoning.
Because car wash
No.
needs a special land.
Correct.
Well, you had a problem with the special land use. You put a moratorium saying you can't. However, you passed the corridor plan that was approved and passed that says you can. In fact, it has a whole list of ordinances that you said can't, but is passed with the ordinance that we have with the sister city that allows it. So that's a contradiction that we have to visit.
We're not comparing that to right now, but I'd still like this to come back before the city council. Yes, Rick.
So I thought now that if you guys approved it instead of the planning commission, I thought it had to come back to you guys for this.
Well, either way, that's going to be my stipulation on this.
Correct.
I understand, but if we put it, is it gonna go in effect? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, why not? You're the legislative body.
I'm not sure.
I'll give you a write-up again of it, and we'll look at it. Make sure, I'll check with Rick, but we'll take the ordinance change, and include the ordinance that changed in 2007. That was brought by Mayor Peleco.
I mean, if you want to do it, Councilman Saab, you can add to the, like, final approval has to come back to us for final approval. And if it does not, if that doesn't work, then this motion is not on void until we find exactly what's going on. Does that work? I don't know if Bob.
There's nothing wrong with us saying that this.
I'm not against not approving this by any means. I'm not saying that I'm gonna hold it up for not approving them or report the terms. It's just that he doesn't have a vision or what he's moving forward with.
That's exactly,
That's
we
the
need to make
issue
sure
I
it
have.
comes back to
I
us.
just don't want it being a 5-6 story building.
I
in
don't
an
want
area
it
that-
coming back and telling us, no, you guys approved it. It doesn't have to go back to you guys. That's what I'm saying.
No, well, here's Rick. I mean, you can put the stipulation on Rick to not approve the plans before he comes. We would have to be the ones that approve the plans. You can zone it. You can even sell it as the zone. You tell Rick you don't approve those plans without bringing it to the council.
No, because the municipal code, the charter.
The final project can come before us. The rezoning is gonna get approved regardless. We can't change that. Once you approve the rezoning is done. First for mixed use. But the project itself can't get approved without our
Just want to
approval.
make sure that.
No, that's not true.
100%.
May I?
Yes.
May I
Councilor Sherry?
add a few items, clarification? What you have before you, as the person doing the review for the planning commission, let me just clarify something. What you have before you is just the rezoning of that lot, not the, nothing else. So, planning commission currently makes recommendations, council makes final decision. In this case, it was a tie, they couldn't make a recommendation. So what you have before you now is just the rezoning part. What will come back to you is actual site plan review. So if this, let's say it gets approved today, say now it's RM, it goes back to the planning commissions for the applicant to put a site plan review. So it will go back, setback requirement, what exactly being built, and that will be reviewed by the planning commission, and then either gets approved or denied, and then sent back to you with recommendation. So the site plan is the next step. The gentleman didn't want to spend the money on the site plan because the site was not, it was R1. So at this point, it's just a simple, make it RM, if you will, and then it goes back and say, okay, now we need you to invest into the actual site plan review. I need to know what's being built, blah, blah, before it gets permitted and approved. So the process is right. The only twist here is this is only rezoning, not the site plan, nothing else. Nothing gets approved
Mr.
until
D,
it
before
goes
the
back.
clock motel was put together, me and you sat in a meeting.
Huh?
They gave us a site plan, they brought in an architect.
That's a site plan.
They went through every single project, and then you said, this is okay, however, you have to rezone this commercial and this mixed use. And then they had to go to the planning commission.
Yes, sir. That
In this
was a lot,
scenario-
we also
hang on.
had a lot split though.
In this scenario, the investor is saying, I don't want to give you any information because I don't know if you guys are going to approve it as a mixed use or not.
It's not a mixed use. So again, I'm only trying to clarify the process. If it becomes an RM, it will have to go back to the planning commission with a site plan review and exactly what's being built, setback, direction, traffic flow, all that stuff, and then another recommendation, and it will come back to you. I mean, it's going to come back to you.
us for the plan review, for the
No,
plan
it will
approval.
come back with recommendation, yes or no, and you make the final decision. Planning commission is not approving
I don't
it.
care if
They're
it goes
making
to
a
R1 or
recommendation.
RM. I just want to see,
I think all of us wants to see that too. I mean,
That's it.
that's why I'm gonna make sure that it's gonna come back to us, because a lot of stuff doesn't come back to us.
I mean, my thing is once you approve something to rezone it to something else, I mean, we could put anything there without knowing. That's why I want to stipulate that, for example, and I know the young man here is not going to do it, I don't want to see a trailer park go up on that side, in that area. I'm just hypothetically saying, I'm not
That's a
saying.
special land use.
But I'm just saying, though,
Special land use, yes.
right, but with RM, there's many other things that can go there too.
Just multifamily, that's it.
What's the height variance with that, Rick?
35 feet. Same as the house.
So that's a 3-level, 3-story?
Only 2.5.
okay, guys. Well, look, Rick, all I'm asking is, before any of these plans are approved and stamped by you, I'm asking you respectfully, please bring this to the council first.
Council Chair?
I will do.
Thank you, Rick.
I'd like to amend the motion before, with the conditions of approval, that before this building department engineer and approver, or gets approved, and the recommendation of planning commission comes back to city council for final decision.
Thank you.
Support.
Motion amended by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. George, Madam Clerk, you guys have that? Thank you. Any other discussion?
Very good.
Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you. Next up is our CDD Director Saad, CDBG Annual Action Plan 2025-2026.
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the finalized Community Development Block Grant CDBG Annual Action Plan for Program Year 2025-2026 and authorize the submission of the plan to HUD by the required deadline of June 28, 2025 as outlined in 9C.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? Director, I will give you the floor.
I have these to.
You give them to the clerk. Sorry, and I only said you have to give it to the clerk because it actually has to go through the clerk.
Oh, okay.
Everything that's handed to the council has to go through the clerk.
Got it. Do you need any extra? Good. I have like 3 more if they need any more. One more? Okay, so good evening. I'm here to just present the annual action plan, and I'm doing this as a comparison summary between last year's and this year's and the increase of allocations that we've gotten from HUD. And once I conclude, we can address the questions. I'll have my Associate Director, Samantha, step up to support me in this. So for this year, we have about $1,098,836, which includes the $100,000 we have from our program income, that is the 10% match. And last year, we had approximately $1,082,315, and that is about a 1.53% increase, so that's good. In terms of our public service cap, we allocate 15% of entitlement and program income. So in 2024, that was $100,000, which was met through senior services. 2025, $158,825.40, which is within the 15% cap of $1,098,836, which is approximately $164,825. The administration cap, which is 20% of entitlement and program income, 2024 we had allocated $216,463, and then 2025 $219,767.20, both of which are within the compliance thresholds. So in terms of program and project expansions or decreases, we have program funding changes in housing rehab. We have increased the amount that we've put into housing rehab from 2024 to 2025. In 2024, this was $324,000. And then in 2025, we have placed $599,243.40 into housing rehab, which is about a $275,000 increase. In code enforcement, in 2024, we have allocated $85,852, and then 2025, $115,000, which there is about a $29,000 increase. Fair housing has stayed the same in 2024 and 2025. We allocate $6,000 to Metro Detroit Fair Housing, which they apply for. And then senior services, in 2024, we had allocated $100,000, and then in 2025, we are allocating $158,825.40. This is about a $58,825 increase. If you flip the page, we now go to public facilities and blight. We allocated $350,000 to Van Houten, and we have allocated the same amount for any potential projects that we choose to undergo this year. So for...
Can I pause you real quick?
Mm-hmm.
The $350,000 that we put towards Van Houten Park, there's additional $350,000. And I know like people are going nuts about the splash pad, maybe. That's something we can use, consider? No?
I don't know if they want to go through with the splash pad this year. I mean, you could,
No, they're taking out, I thought the whole project was about 350.
Fix the splash pad. I can get it right now done for
No, I
20
mean, the
grand.
whole park, didn't the whole park,
Yeah, she's saying they have an additional for 2025.
They have an additional 350,000.
yeah, which has been
no, but
undetermined.
she's saying 2024, we spent 350 from CDBG, but I thought the whole project costed that much, and we got the money from the county.
Well, no, the county gave us.
We did get millage, yeah, money from Wayne County.
Okay, so how is, I don't know,
No, they got the money from Wayne County was for the,
Right now.
went to Central Park.
no, when.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we got it from the county.
There was about $89,000 that came from the county for the Van Houten Park. The total project cost for the Van Houten Park was about $2 million total.
What?
Yes.
$2 million for a playscape?
Yes. So it was split into multiple fiscal years with various different funds, but the
it
total
been
amount of the
repaired?
project was around $2 million.
The splash pad, they're taking it out.
No, as the park, I mean, I know they did the park, but it was, I mean, it was a grade F, the work that company did. Was it ever repaired yet? Has it been fixed?
We're still holding their bond, and they're still repairing various things. There's an item that's going to come up shortly with regards to the lighting with regards to it, which required a lot of additional work to be added to the
So-
project this year.
Mariana, I'm sorry, I know we're going off subject, but since you're up there, I go by that park and I check the thing. There's so much safety hazards and trip hazards there. I mean, if the park is not complete, it shouldn't be open. And it shouldn't take them another year to fix all the problems they put together. When I was there last year at the grand opening, Mr. Deeb, you said we just did this just to do the grand opening, and they haven't done much since.
Yes, sir, I agree. There is a combination of punch list items that we're holding money for, and we also have issues of vandalism, major vandalism in this
But I
place.
have the pictures and video when I was there, the items
I'm
that.
sure you do.
For the construction, they have nothing to do with vandalism, none of them have been fixed.
Right. So the contractor that did the construction on this project is halfway out of business. So what we're going through now is through his bonding company to try to get someone to fix some of these issues. We're holding money on that.
How much money
And
we're holding?
going- Pardon me?
How much money we're holding?
About 80-some thousand, which is the final payment. But we do have some of the items of work. We do have a lot of vandalism. We also have some unforeseen things. The underground cables that the DTE owned have burned out in that area, which is the main reason why we ended up.
They burnt out because of the way they were digging. They were fine before the construction started.
Some of it is outside the work area, but anyway.
I ask you a question?
So we had to go, hang on. So we had to bring DTE community lighting and start testing. And in order to access some of those cables, we had to remove some of the playground equipment that we actually just installed. So there's a combination of issues with that park. But we still have a lot of vandalism taking place. And I mean, we can hold the contractor responsible for his work, but some of the stuff.
But we haven't done that. We're not holding them responsible, because if the city actually administrators cared about the kids, safety's first, safety's priority, then the park should be closed.
I agree.
So why is it open?
Director, I
But
don't even know if we can
if a
close
kid
that
gets
park.
injured, have
It's
you ever
very
seen that
popular.
tunnel you walk through there? The trip hazard inside of it, it's all concrete on the floor?
My question is this, Mr. Deeb.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, Councilman. Who chose this contractor? Was it Wade Trim?
No, they had nothing to do with that. It was through CDBG bid. It was actually bid out by our CDBG.
Mr.
And it was
Deeb,
selected, and we also have bid bonds and performance bonds.
But who approved the work? But who approved the work like this that we were okay with? What city employees were out there that the work was like this, honestly? Because we're gonna hold people accountable in the city, we're gonna hold,
So
if
it
it's
was-
an inspector, if it's an engineer,
No,
the work is horrible.
It's a combination. It's actually a combination. The building
And everybody should be
department was
fired for the work that was done at that park. And I've asked about it every single month, and nothing's being done with it.
Okay, we can close the place down until the repairs are
I
completed.
don't think
I mean,
that's
if
the
that's
answer. I
what we
think it
have
just needs
to.
to be resolved. I mean, you cannot take away the park that everybody's
It's not
enjoying right
safe.
Okay.
now. Us people have been there all summer.
But I'm telling you, it's not safe, and that's why it's being destroyed, because nothing was intact right or put together right. That's why the vandalism is happening. Have you
That
seen
is
the
not
turf, the
true.
way the turf was
That's not
stitched
true.
together and stapled?
That's not true. They're pulling out stuff out of the ground in the parking lot. That has nothing to do with, that's vandalism. They're pulling out stuff in the bathrooms. That's not related.
We're talking
to
about the
construction.
playscape area itself.
Both. They're yanking, when you set fire to a plastic slide, that is not a contractor's fault. I'm not defending
We're not
contractors.
using the slide that just got caught on fire. Everything else that the
My
contractors,
electrical was yanked out just this weekend.
who yanked it out?
Not me. It was kids, found out on Monday. I mean, it's just splashed, pulling out of the ground and thrown on the pavement. I mean, we can,
No, I know, Mr.
there's some
Deeb.
vandalism
I
taking
don't know, I
place. I'm
understand.
thinking
You
to
have a
put
punch
cameras there.
list, you have a punch list from the, whatever the guy
Yes,
left.
yes.
And we have $80,000. It seems like this guy, if he wants to fix it, he could have fixed it already. But it seems like it's been a year almost and he's not going to fix it. Is that enough money to fix whatever he left behind?
Okay, so in addition to that, so part of what he's fixing is the carpet that we put in place. But we're still to repair the electrical. We removed more carpet. We had to remove more carpet.
Man, all I
to
did was
access the
ask her a
electrical.
question
So
about
there's more work. So if we want to bring him back, we have more areas to replace now because of the underground work. And now I just found out this weekend that the plumbing in the bathroom is actually blown out. So that, we might actually have to excavate in the
Mr.
area
Deeb,
to replace drainage.
With respect, I know, with respect to you about the turf, the carpet.
Yes.
We agreed that from day one, I think I have an email from you,
Yes.
there was the wrong turf to begin with.
Yeah, that's what you said. You said
Yeah, they installed the wrong turf.
The wrong thickness, yes.
Okay, so even if we rip out a foot or rip out 20 feet, they were gonna replace it, because it was the
Yes,
wrong turf.
And then, and I have 9 light poles. We have to cut the carpet to access the cables and there's, so now I have more repair work to be done, which is why, I mean, I'm telling you, it's been,
No, I'm with you, but Councilman Saab brought something, especially the safety items. I mean, what do you think? I mean, safety comes
the best
first.
course of action now, we're meeting next Monday with the contractor and his bonding company. We are going, so I met with DTE today, and they acknowledge that they hold some of the responsibility. They're going to participate with the cost. As a matter of fact, we threatened to hold their payment from their electric bill. So we are going to put a list of repairs to be done, whether the contractor does it or his bonding company, and then spread the cost, so which is why we have some extra.
No, until it's that done, I'm concerned about the safety item. I know, like, I reached out to the director for the Kinlock Park, and no, there was, in the playscape, there was a piece missing, and he told me this is the second time that one missing. But right away, the director jumped on it, and he closed it up until that part is in, out of safety concerns. So I want to make sure, like, all the safety items, if there's safety issues, make sure, like, don't let anybody on it, or close it off, or something, not sure.
Can we close it?
Council Chair, while we're up there, I'm sorry, Director, the 350,000, so since now we're having an issue, we can't finish the work that we put out for bid to do. Now, while everything comes down to vandalism, since we have $350,000, can we go ahead and allocate money and put camera systems inside the parks with that money?
So you're confusing the 350,000. That was for the fiscal year that's ending, and that money has already been allocated. It was for the parking lot and the street lighting that we're doing. So there is no
350,000?
more money for the upcoming fiscal year. So there is no more money from CDBG allocated for this particular park. In the past, we had an excessive amount of CDBG funds because it hadn't been used for the prior 7 years or so.
Why should I here undetermined use?
Undetermined use.
So you can explain that.
Before we do that, I just want to address one thing to Mr. Deeb. Mr. Deeb, before having vandalism in the city at these parks, how come nobody knows that? You know, I've never once heard, I never received an email, the police chief didn't give out a statement, the mayor hasn't come out to the park and said, hey, guys, you know, I'm the mayor, we just put X amount of money, we did this so that the community can enjoy this. Like, why are we not publicizing things? Because you know what that's going to do? That's going to open up the eyes and ears to everybody that's around that neighborhood, including me.
Right.
Say, let me drive by, what is somebody doing? What is happening?
I get copied.
We don't need cameras.
I get copied on those emails, so I'm going to ask the director to stop.
I've gotten zero update. I'm the council chairman here. This is the council. These are the I don't think any other, have you ever heard anything, any vandalism?
Just recently.
Right now.
Well, before our meeting, I talked to Mr. Z, and our splash pad would cost $300,000 to replace.
I mean, let's not even, I'm talking about the vandalizing, these
I
things,
know,
ripping up
I know. We discussed that
walls
too.
and things like
Not a
that.
problem before. I used to go to
I
that
mean,
park
yeah,
all the
I
time.
mean, you know, look, I get it, it's a popular park, but if things are being vandalized,
They are.
look, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, just take some ideas out of different municipalities. Kevin Coleman just put up a video the other day in Westland about the one of the largest playscapes that's open to Westland, talked about how people are trashing it, talked about how things are, have our mayor get up in there and do that,
No, I agree. Should, okay.
you know? It shows a little bit, it shows a little bit of courage.
So just to update you on Van Houten, I spend every day, every morning there and evaluate that park. From the day it's open, which has been 3 to 4 weeks, the usage is unbelievable. No budget was ever made for any maintenance of that park or security. So we've taken money from our budget. We hired a additional park attendant. Couldn't even keep up with it. The volume of trash there is unbelievable on a daily basis. We also, because once I seen the vandalism, we have an applicant out right now to get cleared to be a park ranger, because we're going to have somebody there till 9 o'clock at night when we close the park. We've ordered gates. I'm going to bring that at the next council meeting, because we're going to have to lock the park out at night. It has been a real handful. Of all the parks that we have, that park takes about all of my time, and the trash and the vandalism is unbelievable. So we're trying to correct it every single day to get caught up with it.
Thank you, Director. I mean, myself, Council Chair, I went there a few times and I saw the Director there himself picking up trash and taking care of the park. So I do thank you for your time and efforts. But going back to this, Council Chair, it seems like this, first, I think we still have time to submit this. I know it says here June 28th, but I was told maybe we have till August 16th.
Did you want me to answer the 350 or no?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in terms of the 350, it's undetermined. We have allocated that to where the extras came from in housing rehab. The increases that we've gotten are breaking down that 350 until we have projects to allocate towards. So it's just temporary right now. That's why it says undetermined use. But it's just to show you that like 350,000 was allocated to Van Houten last year, and then this year we'll pull it out again for whatever project we decide.
So we can purchase cameras for our parks, this money if we wanted to.
Is that?
As
It
you're
depends if
saying,
it's HUD.
just temporary. It has not been allocated yet.
If it's HUD.
I'll speak to it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Let me just go back just a little bit. What the 300?
I'm sorry, who you are again?
Oh, this is my Associate Director, Samantha.
This is my
Hi,
first
Samantha.
time here. I've been actually with
Welcome.
the city for about, how long?
3
3 years, so this is my first time here. I came in as a grants person, but now I'm the associate director. So nice to meet you guys.
CEDD?
Yes, I am. So nice to meet everyone. It's my first time here.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by Associate Director?
That was
Deputy
the title
director.
that was given to me.
Deputy director,
what
it'd be
does
like deputy director.
Is it Deputy Director?
Pretty much the deputy director, yeah.
I've never heard Associate Director.
It's just, she's probably just using the different.
I would say I'm just really good at my job, and I didn't want to be her assistant. So
That sounds good.
Good point. No problem. So in regards to, let me go over the entire thing as far as the dollar amount, so we're clear. So, and it'll answer a couple questions that exactly what you had. So I'm here to answer the questions that came in. So the total budget came in, and it took us until May.
Yep.
We didn't get the allocation announcement from HUD until May 14th. And HUD also sends out a publication at the beginning of the year to kind of let us know how to submit the annual action plans. In that publication, they said based off of when they give us the allocation, because they did anticipate it to be late, it actually came later than normal this year, actually more than 6 weeks from the prior year. So they were given 60 additional days to apply, which the deadline is August 18th is the drop dead deadline, but it's based off of the 60 days from the date of your allocation announcement. So that's the deadline for anyone, but that was also, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted from conversation. But you know, that's for anyone. So whatever the 60 days is before August 18th, that, you know, they managed to get us that. But that is the deadline. So that is the drop dead deadline. So working backwards from the original time, we were in communication with Wade Trim, and we asked them about the NOFA and extending the opportunity to other or community organizations to possibly partner with the city of Dearborn Heights. So we were looking for projects early on. But because we were doing this with the original date in mind, we were not able to, and consulted with Wade Trim, and they told us what we will be able to do is proceed with our annual action plan at pretty much almost duplicating last year's, and we'll be able to go back and revisit it because HUD does allow us to reprogram funds if we find projects that we want to fund. But because we have to still follow the timeline, that's why we're before you for the submission now. But it's really based off of the original one. We were working backwards.
We're on a time crunch too, because we didn't know like what we were getting exactly, and we were, once again, like working off of last year's allocations. So that's kind of.
So since the deadline now is August 16, are we still in a time crunch? Can we still send the stuff out again?
By the way, online it says August 16th.
16th.
August 16th, yep.
Yeah, so like we have time.
The thing with that, when you go back out, so August 16th we're already at July, right? So, I mean, July next week though. So we have to put it back out, proper notice. Once you build in the 15-day comment periods, the 30-day comment periods, giving individuals time to respond, we didn't have that time. So that's why we said what we would do is submit it pretty much as a boilerplate for right now. Then we would go back with reprogrammings and invite community organizations to partner. I will say, just from my experience with the city of Dearborn Heights, I've been here since 2022, and I've seen some things happen, and I've seen relationships fall apart because of the prior director. I don't have a dog in the fight about anything that happened before or that's happening now, but I was able to, I remember some of the relationships that kind of, what community organizations that kind of went by the wayside. So what Lael and myself have done, we've reached back out and say, hey, we know it wasn't the best thing before, but we have new leadership here. Are you interested in coming back to the city and seeing if we can work together? So we've had several communications with, it was Vista Maria, it was a Metro Housing Department, just ones that we knew were kind of broken. So we're trying to mend those relationships as well. But also, I'm not a resident of the area, so I'm leaning on her to say, hey, I have the experience. I've been in this game for 20-something years. I know I look really young, but I've been doing this for a long time. So, and she's new. So I'm leaning on her as a resident of this community to say, hey, where do you think the dollars could go? I know what we have to do guideline-wise, but I need you boots on the ground to get in the community and have these conversations. So that's what she's been doing, but I've just been pushing everything forward based off of the guidelines. So, that's where we are with that. So we could possibly do more with the park, but right now, also, we did increase the housing rehab budget by a substantial amount because the program went dormant for 2 years and we didn't even fund it. So we're just like, okay, now that the applications coming in, residents are saying we need help with our homes, we put the money back there. Can it be moved back? Absolutely can. It can go any way, but I just want you guys to, I think it's outlined on what Liel gave you, knowing like there's some things we can and can't do. So yes, a lot of nonprofits have reached out to us for funding, but they're public service based, and we are capped at 15%. So previously what we've been able to do, we funded senior services, almost 100% of our budget of our cap for public services had gone to the senior center. So we can only do so much, and we don't want to, and honestly, it's usually, I think before the end of the year, our program year starts July 1.
July 1st, yeah.
Before December, they've already expended over that entire amount. So we don't want to decrease a program that's internally held that we really want to continue to see going, because that is a thriving population here, and try to find something. And most organizations, they need a little bit more than the $6,000 that we may have available. So that's kind of why we haven't reached out completely.
I know, but I mean, since we have till August 16, don't you think this is enough time to publicize whatever we have?
But she's saying by the time you put it out in the 15 days and the comeback, you're already using July, then she's basically saying you don't have enough.
We don't have time to submit it to HUD. We definitely, after it's submitted and approved and we get the dollars in the door, we can go back out and kind of redo.
So when you submit to HUD, you don't submit exactly the agencies that gonna take,
No, you submit the project.
advantage of this,
Yeah.
no?
We are basically advised to keep things general. That way we can go back and add to it if we need to.
So after it's approved by HUD, to get this straight, after approved by HUD, you can go back and publicize the availability of the
Yes.
funds
Yep.
and people, and agencies can apply. That's what you're
Yes.
telling me? Okay.
Yes. Yes. So that was something that was covered previously. I really wanted to make sure that we went back out and did that, but we just, because of the time, we just were not able to do it traditionally how it's been done in the past.
Yeah, and once again, we were going off of like advisement from Wade Trim on what they thought that we should do, because this was something that we had checked in with them about like multiple times. But yeah, just given.
What about the companies though, like, what about I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Director Saad. What about the companies that have applied year after year, and then this year they didn't see any publication? They feel like, what the heck, every year I depend on the city of Dearborn Heights, and this year I got nothing, because because nothing was publicized. How is that fair to these nonprofits that are using and giving back to our community, like boots on the ground? I respect Director Saad, but there are people that in this community feel like they also have boots on the ground, and this year they've heard nothing, and they're getting nothing because we failed to really, market this.
Okay. So in regards to the marketing, as far as previous boots, it's late, I'm ready to go home. But previous organizations, the only other outside public service agency that we have provided funding to that has been kind of a consistent is the Fair Housing Center of Metro Detroit. Since I've been here, and I believe they're actually covered in our consolidated plan, we've funded them $6,000 each year. So with that being said, I cannot say that an organization can say, hey, because I didn't know about this opportunity, we won't get something that we've already expected. So what we're trying to do is definitely make sure that we provide it to everyone who is interested, but we're learning who is available, what's available in the community.
We're talking the same issue here, but she's saying they can submit right now, then after HUD approve
They'll still have the opportunity.
they can
yeah.
publicize it again,
Right.
and the organization can apply, correct? Just to keep it on record.
Yes, because after it is submitted, HUD does have a timeline when they'll be reviewing before. So a lot of times the funding doesn't even come into the doors until about November anyway. So we can still be working on that process.
So if we approve this tonight, you guys when do you start publicizing the funds that's available for organization to apply? After it's approved by HUD or right away?
After it is approved
yep.
by
And how long is it going to take to be approved by HUD?
It's 45 days after submission.
So probably you can publicize it in August, that's what you're saying? Pretty much?
If we submit it after the 45 days, yes. 6 weeks? We can do that. If council would like to see that, we definitely can.
Oh, definitely would like to see that. I mean, I remember it's been like used to have a public hearing here and people will come in and so they can know more about the funds and they can apply.
Yes.
I mean, I just want to be fair to everybody and have enough time and chance for everyone to apply.
Yeah. But I will say, since we're on record, the main thing is what we have available. Like, so if we stick with senior services, what we have available outside of that is not a lot for public service activities, but we will be able to assist with like certain type of projects, infrastructure projects that may happen, or other partnership that do not require direct benefit services. We definitely want to do something like that. Impact projects is really what HUD is really pushing us towards anyway.
I mean, at least we need to publicize it and
Yeah, for
have
sure.
transparency with everyone.
Yeah, for
That's what
sure.
we're looking for.
Yeah,
Please.
also, if you guys do bring your attention to number 4, possibilities for collaboration, you'll see like 2025, we mentioned that. So honestly, like these are things that we've obviously discussed throughout this entire planning process. None of these things are like going to be brushed under the rug, or it's not like we're telling you things that we think you'd want to hear. Like, we genuinely do care about the residents and we hear them, and we hear what they want us to prioritize. Going back to senior services, the seniors, they are probably one of our biggest groups, demographic that benefit from CDBG funds. So that's also why we put a lot of our focus into senior services, as Samantha mentioned. So it's just, yeah, again, like trying to do what we can with what we have and finding more opportunities as well. So basically, yeah, like they'll definitely have the opportunity to apply once this is published. We don't want anybody to feel like they've been left in the dark or left out at all.
Thank you, Director.
And I think the last question, it was something that was brought off Zoom, was in regards to the blank pages at the end of the draft. I feel like a lot of people are paying attention to us right now, and I don't know why, but I think I got an idea why. However, if you go back to all the draft action plans that are online, they all have blank pages because they're reserved for the certifications and the SF 424s that are submitted to HUD. They're public forms. If you really want to know what is there, you can definitely Google it and find it, but it's left blank for a reason.
Yep.
So I don't want anyone to say, oh, they're missing something. No, after it's actually approved, they go
That's
to
when
the
they get
mayor for
signed.
signature, for signed, and it's all submitted as a package to HUD,
Yep.
just for clarification's sake.
Thank you.
I think we should vote. Any else? Did I answer your question?
All right.
Okay.
I mean, look, can't we still have a public hearing on this?
I mean, that's why she said 45 days, and she's going to publicize it and have a public hearing.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
We have to have a public hearing for any changes within a certain percentage to the budget anyway. I believe it's 25%.
Yep.
It will definitely come to
Okay.
that afterwards. So yeah, we can have a public hearing, and I would recommend, and this is just me because I've been in this for a while, because we have a lot of participants here, it can actually go into a council agenda, and we can have the public hearing.
No, it says like a public hearing has nothing to do with the council meeting.
No, it can't. The issue, and that was also brought up, the issue is public hearings are not really that attended, and you don't get a lot of input from the public until after the document comes in. So we've done the same thing. It has been copy and paste, except the dates have been updated for the last few years, and they've gone to the same places
Yeah.
as far as online being posted and.
All right, guys,
English and
I want to
Arabic.
wrap this up, please, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council
So,
Chair.
Yes.
But yeah, that's basically it.
Usually we advertise it in the newspaper. I've seen the ads.
It
And
is.
then we
Yeah, it
have
is.
it at Berwyn and Eaton centers where people are allowed to come and see what's going on.
Yep.
we can work
I've
with that.
attended those.
Please.
Yeah, we can definitely improve on that.
We just need
We don't need to
Thank
do
you.
it. Yep.
Any other discussion?
Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is CEDD Director Saad, update to wage trims contract rates scheduled for fiscal year 24-25.
Council Chair,
Councilman.
I'd like to refer this back, and I want it out for bid, because we requested this last year.
Okay. Or I need a motion first.
Refer back to the administration.
I put a motion to refer 9D back to the administration to put it out for bid.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion?
Council Chair. So basically, this motion says here effective July 1st, 2025.
Right.
So we're going to be out of contract. Do we need their services right now?
So right now we are using them as needed, basically. Like they sent us a contract, which I can email to you all. The original contract that they had was for a 5-year plan. But as of right now, we're only using them, or we agreed to use them as
6
needed.
months?
Yes, to help with our consolidated plan.
Like if you want to send this to bid, how long does it take?
We can extend it for 3 months.
3 months?
How long is it going to take you to bid this out? Send it to bidding and?
Probably like 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, let's extend it for 2 months. So Councilman Saab, if you don't mind, if you want to extend it from July 1st till September 1st?
I think that's a good idea.
I mean, if we're using them on a basis need only, it doesn't seem like they're using them often. I'd just rather have it go out for bid.
I mean, just in case.
Either Wade Trim or McKenna or.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so you're amending your motion to refer this back to the administration and allowing wage trims contract for 2 months, which will go, say, until August,
September.
so September 24th.
Do we need to send it back, or we can just do it right
No,
now?
we can vote on it and change the dates.
Just change the date from July 1st, 2025.
September 1st.
Through September 1st, 2025.
All right, it's okay.
2 months.
Any other discussion?
Let me actually, I gotta read the motion, sorry. I move that Dearborn Heights City Council approve the updated wage trim hourly rates for the community design services effective July 1st, 2025.
Through September.
Through September 1st, 2025, in order to maintain continuing professional services provided by wage trim under existing and upcoming projects outlined in 9D.
Support. A motion by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any more discussion?
Yes, please put this out for bid.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to 9E, City Engineer Deep Asphalt Pavement Street Repair Program Contract Change Order Number 2.
Council Chair.
Councilman?
I move the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the change order number 2 for the asphalt paving street program, repair program contract with True North Asphalt LLC in the amount of $114,000 for a proposed new contract value of $824,294.40. In addition, authorize the mayor and the comptroller and the clerk to sign the necessary warrants and the treasurer to issue payment from account number 203-203-880-500 as outlined in 9E.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Deeb,
Councilman?
why with the big jump in pricing for the order, change order?
Before we start with that, Councilman, again, they gave us the account number with no, doesn't say how much is in the account number.
Yes. So this is Act 51 local, so three and a half.
Yeah, but we
Three and a
did a resolution or a motion last time, a few months ago. Any account number provided, we need to find how much funds is in it.
Okay,
Do we
three and a
stay
half, I'll go going
For
forward.
transparency for all the residents,
Right,
Mr.
so this is Act 51, local, street. And then, Councilman Saab, it's not a jump, we had the contractor accept the last year's unit prices. It's just that additional areas came up, but we're using last year's unit prices on all of them, so it's the same.
Councilman, I know, which, is this the same contract where we did not renew and we said to send it out for bids, or?
No,
same
that
company?
was the cement company, not asphalt.
Okay.
Yeah, this is asphalt.
Something different, okay.
This is asphalt.
Yeah, any more discussion from anyone? Who's in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to 9F, City Engineer Deep, Van Hoen Park Improvement Project Change Order Number 1.
Council Chair,
Councilman?
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve change order number 1 to the Van Houten Park Improvement Project contract with Premier Group Associates for a total not to exceed $85,000. In addition, authorize the mayor and comptroller or clerk to sign the necessary warrants and the treasurer to issue payment from the street park lighting account number 101-200-926-000 as outlined in 9F.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion?
Yes, how much is in this account?
Same thing.
Yeah, this is new.
Sorry, what account is it? I'm so sorry. Can you repeat the account for me
What's
again?
it's 101-200-926.000.
I'm so sorry. My computer's like a little frozen right now. Oh, yay. Mari has his on. Sorry, the controller's on his way. Sorry, just like my keyboard froze.
Mr. Deep, how come there's no backup on this? I know it says lighting, but there's no, I don't see anything else.
So it's a combination of things, the lighting, the underground, the plumbing. So there are a whole bunch of, all the punch list items are paid by the contractor. These are the additional things that I spoke earlier about.
So who's this company?
Yeah, who's the company? Why we don't have anything from them? Doesn't say, like, this is what they're asking for, this is...
No, this is not what they're asking for. They're asking for $200,000. We're only going to pay what we think is proper. So I'm using their unit prices that they bid for what we are on the hook for, the additional services. All the rest of the stuff are they're paying for. So their claim is $200,000, 200 and some change. So we're paying only for the additional work that's not in the original contract. So once it gets approved, we're sitting down with them, either them or their bonding company. They're picking up all the other stuff that we think was done incorrectly things like Councilman Saab indicated. The manufacturers recommend 4 inches thick under the carpet. We only found 2 when we cut the carpet out. So things of that nature, they're paying for.
Okay.
So, Mr.
And,
Deeb, I'm sorry, I want to cut you off, man. This kind of aggravates me a bit.
I know.
So you're telling me we had your department out there supervising this, and they
just
couldn't
mine.
notice?
No, building department was also there. So we
The building department was not there. The building department was there after for certain things with the parking lot. But
no,
for the stuff
no,
under
no.
all the pavements, so why do we have engineers
No, the
there?
building department made him take out the swings and replace them. So no, we have, I don't have inspectors. I have one person for part-time. The building department has inspectors, paid inspectors. And those
Can I get
inspectors
the
were
list of all the inspections that were done, who inspected them? And who oversaw what they saw in your project on this?
Yeah, so-
Because
so-
something is not adding up with this project. It's not now, we're paying them, we're gonna rip out holes in a carpet that's supposed to be completely replaced, and they're wrong, but we're gonna pay for the repairs that we're gonna do
No,
for them to
you're
tear it
just
out?
making up stories now. That's
I'm not making up
true.
stories. You just
That's-
said that you picked up, you ripped some areas.
The carpet we're paying for is the carpet that was needed to be replaced for the cable replacement. So we had some underground damage that we had to go back and remove good carpet in the play area and access those cables. That is ours. But all the other stuff, like you mentioned, the tunnel and other repairs that were, the areas that were done incorrectly, they're all being paid for by the contractor under warranty. So that is the contractor's portion. We're paying for the stuff that was unforeseen.
Can we get an itemized list of what we're doing here?
I was hoping to get this thing approved so I can talk to the contractor intelligently and say how much we have money to pay for, but.
I don't have faith in this contract to give them
That's fine. So
85,000.
we'll just delay the project. That's all that's gonna happen. We'll delay
I
it.
mean, yeah, Mr. Deeb, I kind
We'll
of,
delay it.
support Councilman Saab on this. I need to see something at least, but I mean, by all means, I mean, you can tell them you can already tell them this is what we have or whatever, but send us something that we can vote on. I cannot just vote on just a motion with no backup. So this group, Premier Group Associates, has nothing to do with the original contractor. This is something.
They are
somebody
the
else-
original
They are the
contractors.
original.
So I just want to add 2 things. So the reason that we chose to do a blank quarter is because, in all honesty, DTE keeps finding different mistakes in the area. So they've already been out there 3 times to try to fix the lighting issue. Every time they go out, they decide that a new area needs to be cut up and a new wire needs to be connected. So the first time they fixed 1 pole out of the 9. The second time they went out and fixed an additional 7. But now the electricity in the bathrooms is out. So it seems that every time that they dig something, something else breaks.
But my question is
so
that when we
the
did the
change
work-
order is still flexible, but the reason that, again, we wanted to move forward with this project is because every time that DT is out there, Premier has to be out there as well, because we still have insurance with their contract. So we can't bring any other company to come and fix it, because we would lose our maintenance agreement for the next 2 years that we have with them and any damages that happen there. So we know that a change order is going to happen because of what DTE is doing. Simultaneously, we're telling DTE that they're the ones that are causing these issues in our property, because they were there back in the fall when we were organizing with the contractors to create those new wire connections. And they did a new wire connection that 2 months later broke. So that was DTE's error, not our contractor.
So I have a
So
question.
there's a combination of issues and people that are responsible for the different payments of these repairs.
So we're pointing fingers, DTE, the Premier, whatever it is. But this damage happened when the park was getting installed.
Not this particular
No.
change order.
No.
No, but the lights went out during the park. When before the park was done, the lights worked.
And after it was open, the light worked. 2 months. They worked
So
for 2 months.
how are wires torn up?
That's DTE's issue. That's
The underground cable.
Why is the contractor, the city, paying for their work that they messed up?
because DTE can't open the foamy floors that we have. That's the responsibility of the contractor that we have. So they're the only ones that know how to
Mr. Deeb, who are you dealing
manipulate their
with
foamy
DTE?
floors.
So DTE is already on notice that they're.
But who are you dealing with DTE? Can I have a name?
Well, of course, Teresa.
Raisa Kersey is our agent representative. We've even gone above her with the complaints with regards to this park, and we went to Barbara
Barbara Rickwilder.
Rick Wilder, who's
Can you
even
send me an
higher
email
up.
with DTE contacts tomorrow, please?
And the reply, Barbara's already taken it to the VPs, to higher ups, and it is on notice that we will hold payment to DTE but again, DTE is responsible for their work. So as of, the priority was to get the lights back working. So they worked for 2 months after the contractor were done. So after the opening day, the lights were all working. Subsequently, one after another, the lights kept going out. And it was a combination of not fixtures, but underground failure. And now we understand more underground failures may or may not be related to DTE, but the cables are burning up. In order to access those things underground, you remove carpet. And that's the problem we're in.
And I respect what you say, Mr. G, but in the DTE's contract, as if it's their lines that are running underground, right? We have a maintenance service plan with them. It's their lines they ran. No matter what's above it, they're responsible for the repairs of it. You're gonna tell me that they can't rip out a carpet, but they can come tear out a whole entire street.
So their contractor is an electrical, Corby Energy. They have no idea how to repair or remove or replace the playground carpet. In addition, that carpet is under warranty from Premier. So only Premier, to honor the warranty, you bring Premier back. Premier likes to get paid. And so this is the dilemma. There are many pieces floating around. We are going to sit down together. It's a mess. But we are going to sit down together. All these things are already figured out. Who's responsible for what? The things under warranty will be the contractors, Premier, and DTE is already on notice that things that caused by DTE's contractor will be paid for by DTE. They did crazy other things. They painted my carpet with permanent oil-based paint. So we've got pictures and sent it to DTE. You guys are paying for new carpet. Things like this, they actually painted it with contractors did. So I mean, there are a lot of things in that park.
I think this is back-ended with this $85,000 can be spent on a hole for all we know. I think since you're going to have these meetings, I would love to attend that meeting with you before we pay them, so we know the scope of work is.
Council Chair. So, Mr. Dib, before you go, so you came up with that number, the 85,000?
No, we looked at all the damage, figured out which one is ours, which one is under warranty and the contractor, which one's a DTE, and this is what's left for us to based on unit prices from last year's contract. This is the number that we have.
So the stuff that you figured out, where's that list? Didn't you put it down, like, to figure out?
It's quantities based on the drawings. So we looked at the drawings and we marked up all the areas and figured out the units.
Well, Mr. D, how much do we still owe them out of the contract too? Wasn't it 85,000?
Yeah, and some change, yes.
Yeah, no. He wants to go back and negotiate with him. So,
I mean,
can we approve it per pending, like, send us the list or bring it back next?
There's no backup on this.
Again, this is because multiple people are on hook for the repairs. And it's still going on now. The priority is we like to get the repairs done so the park is safe and fully done.
When are you meeting with them? Council Chair?
Wednesday, I believe.
Wednesday? Yeah. Tomorrow?
Or no, next week. Next week.
Council Saab, can you attend next Wednesday?
I'll make myself available next Wednesday.
Can he attend with you?
Can he attend?
Absolutely.
And can we get a list or whatever, like an invoice or whatever after you agree with them? So we think
I'd like
like a detailed punch
breakdown.
list.
I can give you a breakdown.
Breakdown, please.
I would like Rick also because he's our electrical inspector from the city also be at that meeting too if it's possible.
Is Rick still on?
I think so. Okay, we'll send him
an email.
Yep, he's there.
Is he on?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm mute him.
Unmute him. How you doing, Rick? Hello.
Mr. Wallen.
Can you make yourself available next Wednesday?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is the park lit up at night to prevent vandalism? Is it lit up at night?
Yes. All the lights are on. One of them, as of today, has bird nesting and baby birds. DTE contractor refused to kill the birds, so one is lit, but the birds are still babies. But all of them are on. They're lit.
Right. We need to prove this so they'll stay lit, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
When do you need to issue payment for this? Like you still have to meet with them next Wednesday, then once you agree, then you issue payment.
Right.
Right?
So, yes.
So, okay, before we issue payment, you can add Councilman Saab to send us a breakdown to council before anybody can issue a payment. How does that sound?
No, I want backup.
That's a backup.
No, I want to physically see what's going on.
I mean, you're gonna go, plus, once they provide us with the breakdown,
Honestly, all you have to do is refer this back to administration, go to the
well,
meeting.
he
come back.
wants approval on this number so he can meet with them.
You have this number, we're not gonna tell you no.
Okay. But I'm saying before anybody issue payments, we need to see that breakdown.
Approve it, subject to the.
break-
Yes, it's not, I mean, it's, Mr. Deeb, is this something that has to be expedited right away? Yeah, but you're not gonna get any work done, don't you have to sit down with him on Wednesday next week?
I don't know what work is getting.
Okay, the following Tuesday, you have a payment. You're gonna meet with them next week, Wednesday, and that following Tuesday, you have a city council meeting, we'll approve it. We don't have to approve it without you even sitting with
Can we
them.
put up
2 weeks.
a placeholder for this for the next meeting?
Yeah, that's all you have to do is put it on to the next city council meeting.
Does that work, or?
Yeah, guys. if you-
That's how I said in the beginning, but I sounded like he wanted the
Madam Clerk,
number.
George, can you add this on to the next city council meeting for us? Thank you. Can we refer this back to administration, whoever made the motion on this? I don't know, I wasn't here.
I did.
No, it was Councilman Constant.
Robert Constant, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and seconded by Councilwoman Breyer.
Yeah, it was us.
Councilman Constant, would you refer this back to the,
Reluctantly, yes.
and Councilwoman, will
Yes.
you second that?
Yes.
All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is Comptroller's Office Budget Amendment 1.
Council Chair,
Councilman?
I move the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the budget amendments as outlined in 9G.
Second.
I'd like to ask to amend the actual amendments to include the tuition amendment that you asked for, Council Chair.
Yes, where's it coming from?
So we are going to reduce police contractual services from $370,000 to $368,500, which would leave a current balance of $711,11.11.
We have 360,000, you said.
300. So the budget itself was 370.
How much have we used of it so far?
So far you used, hold on one second, 370 minus 137. You used approximately 230,000.
How much do we have remaining?
$137,211.11.
And you want to take it down for $1,500?
Just $1,500. That's all we need to cover that tuition.
Okay.
So if you want me to list the numbers or give it to the clerk, provide
Give
the
them to
clerk.
the clerk, please.
Okay,
With the GL accounts.
yes.
Council Chair, so where's all this money going?
These are to cover outstanding expenses. We're
So
shifting.
how come you don't mention here where it's going, what GL account is going to?
No,
Which one?
for tuition, it
No,
wasn't-
they're separated by department.
talking
So like,
All I see, like you're taking money from this account, and it says how much, but it doesn't say where it's going.
I mean, they're separated per department. That's the whole point. I'm decreasing 5,000 for part-time for district court, then I'm increasing it by 5,000. So I changed it from last time so that I separated per department so you can see
Okay.
it balances each other out in each.
I see now, I'm sorry, okay.
No, it's okay. After last council meeting, I learned my lesson about grouping everything as one big agenda. So instead, I decided to do each department showing you that the department itself can handle it, just moving from one GL to another GL within the department.
Thank you. Yeah.
So under building maintenance, you took down for,
Yeah, that's so that amendment was to pay for the building maintenance truck, which they actually already have possession for. It does have enough money to cover that as well as any outstanding expenses that we anticipate.
okay, perfect. So the last one you just did right now for the tuition.
Yeah, that one is for
You're gonna add it
item-
and give it to Madam Clerk
Yes.
so it can be
Okay.
added to the backup, okay? Thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Did you add
The what?
did we amend this to add the $1,500?
I was asking to amend it. It's up
Yes.
to you.
Let's amend our 9G to add
the requested amendment by interim Comptroller Beatty.
This is just for the police department? Police department only? This is for the police department only?
Police Department tuition.
Tuition only.
We didn't need a budget amendment for the other director, but if you don't want to,
Please make sure you email that direct,
yes, directly to the clerk.
and to the council as well.
Okay, all
Thank you.
7?
All 7, absolutely.
Okay.
Is that okay, council members? All right, and this will be allowed to pay the police officers tuition, Mr. Barrow.
Council Chair, Chief of Staff also want to request that, are we going to be paying Director Saad, or are you going to hold off on?
That's completely different. We'd like to see the contract. We'd like to see where that money's coming from. We've also put in a stipulation
Yeah.
here. I don't want to go back and forth, guys.
No, and I understand, and I just want to make this comment about what, legal, special legal.
And let's just have this conversation, please.
No, can I just make
Please,
one
Chief of
comment?
Staff, I don't want to have this argument back.
No, I understand. Can I just make one comment? Director Saad is part of a federally funded.
Let us just go through this first step, please. I'm not here to go to have the back and
No,
forth.
I'm just giving you a heads up that.
I know. We're talking about this right here.
No.
Making one adjustment. I don't want to have the back and forth. Before everybody gets
Yeah.
all confused.
Yeah.
Can we just do this, please?
Yep.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, he's going to email it to us, the council and yourself, with the proper GL accounts, where the money's coming from and how much is remaining, and to be able to pay the remaining amount of money for it to pay off Mr. Barrow. Okay? And motion made by Councilman Saab. It was seconded by Councilman Constant. And do you guys amend your motion to allow that?
Yes.
The increase of $1,500 for police
Yes.
contractual services to pay off line item 28.
So increase, police tuition back, line item 101300825.000 by 1,500, and reduce line item 101300818.000 by 1,500, which is the contractual services.
You have those accounts memorized?
I am in the finance department, so I should memorize most GLs.
God bless you, sir.
Thank
Any
you.
other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is Library Director McCaffrey, Library Budget Amendment.
Councilwoman Breyer.
Council Chair, you want me to read?
I can read it.
Councilwoman Breyer.
I can read it.
I can do it, it's okay. All right, I'll make a motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the following amendments to the library budget. Increase 738-981, capital outlay, increased by $30,000. It increases from $9,561 to $39,561. Increase 738-845, which is utilities, increased by $15,000. It increases it from $3,834 to $11,166. Increase 738-728, which is office supplies, increased by $10,000, which increases it from that's a minus $4,388 to $5,612. Total increases are $55,000. Hang in there, we got 4 more. Decrease 738-932. That's repair maintenance / equipment by $20,000. It's a decrease from $29,576 to $9,576. Decrease 738-981.010, capital outlay, which is chairs, by $5,000, decrease it from $5,000 to 0. And then we decrease decrease 738-931, which is the maintenance and building by $10,000, which decreases it from $41,463 to $31,463. Last item, decrease 738-706, retirement, PRs at previous years, by $20,000, decrease from $22,703 to $2,703. The total decreases are $55,000 as outlined in 9H, and it breaks it even.
Support. Motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion? Director, thank you for that. Thank you for giving the balances, the amount, the GL accounts, like everything that we have requested. I really, really appreciate you doing that. Something that's simple really goes a long way. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. And Councilwoman Breyer, thank you for
No problem.
reading that, and I know that was long.
Yeah.
Next up is Police Chief Haydar, purchase and payment of Police Department mobile radios.
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the purchase and payment of 28 mobile radios from Motorola for a cost of $195,151.72. In addition, authorize the mayor and comptroller or clerk to sign the necessary warrant and the treasurer to issue payment from account 266-266-830-060. Furthermore, authorize a budget amendment to increase GL account 266-266-830-060 by $195,151.72 and decrease fund balance GL account 266-000-390-000 by $195,151.72 as outlined in 9I.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion on this?
Council Chair?
Sir.
So what account is that, the GL account, fund balance? Is that the main GL account?
60? First or second one?
Where it says fund balance, 266-000-390-000. Is that the main fund we're talking?
So
We're gonna deplete it, you don't got that money.
just so council's aware, anytime the starting digits are other than 101, it's a different entire fund balance. So 592 is water fund balance, 265 is forfeiture fund balance, 266 is traffic immobilization fund balance.
Well, I'm sorry?
Traffic immobilization. So it's
Traffic
used.
immobilization.
So drunk driving tickets and other tickets like that, there's a portion that goes strictly used for police department activities, and it's restricted just for police department to use.
Okay.
Manny, can you tell us how much money's in that account?
So the fund balance for that has 230,000, and then they're going to plan on using 195 of that.
Can we please have the balance for every account?
Yes, going forward.
Like exactly what,
No, I understand. I wasn't aware or wasn't in the loop. Unfortunately, I didn't see the motion at the time. But going forward, anytime that there's any amendment or any motion like that, I'll make sure with the directors that we have the fund balance, like the balance is correct, as well as the GLs detailed for city council.
Please, like show us exactly how much we have, how much we're taking out, and how much is the balance now? after
So
we take
the
out?
chief of staff and I are implementing something that the directors should go through the comptroller's office before submitting anything finance related, so that I can double check the GLs and ensure that we have the money and properly present it to you as a
That
council.
would be great for everybody to be on the same.
That's a new process that I'm trying to work on and keep transparency and stuff with the council.
Thank you, sir.
No
Chief,
problem.
can you give us a rundown on these Motorola walkie-talkies or radios?
So, I mean, we have radios, well, the state is mandating an encryption on all these radios coming up here by the new year. And it's gonna cost us over $800,000. It's mandated that we have to have this encryption. Every police department in the state of Michigan is gonna have them. So the 28, right now, we currently have about 60 radios. I would say 30 to 35 are newer, and about 25 to 28 are old. By purchasing these 28, we're going to have 28 new ones that are going to catch up to the 28 that we have now that are decent, and they're going to already be encrypted. But we're going to come back again sometime in September and October and ask for additional money for these radios that we have.
Where's the money from?
Well, we're going to have to figure it out. Let's talk about it in October. But, I mean, other than that, unless you got a Nextel you can hand out to us, we're going to need this done. Because the state's going to mandate us to have encrypted radios. If
State's gonna
not,
mandate it, tell them, give us the money,
yeah, well,
and they should pay for it.
but we're looking at grants too to see if we can find something
There
to
you
help
go,
us.
that's the answer I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Council
So,
Chair.
Yeah.
Chief, what's going to happen with the old ones?
the old ones, I'm not sure if we're going to recycle them and sell them off or we're just trading them into Motorola. But,
Yeah, let's see if we can sell them off.
yeah, we'll get something for them. The problem is we just can't really use them because they're not encrypted anymore.
Yeah, let's try to get some money.
Yeah,
for it.
there was some talk
We
of
can help
maybe-
you with the new,
Yes.
I mean, and they might not be encrypted, but, if like a resident wants to use a radio, a police radio at home just to hear what's going on, I know we have some in the.
Well, you won't even be able to do that. All these
Those are
scanner
radios.
apps and all that, they're all going to be gone.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, so this actually communicates?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought it was just like a listening radio.
No.
Or a scanner.
No. And just for the record, we do have a grant that we're working on for 6 police officers.
I'm sorry, let's hear this.
So we do have a grant that we're working on that we're almost like 90% there to hire 6 more additional police officers. And the grant pays for the officers for up to 3 years.
So is that with the state, with Alabas?
No. No. Me and
That's
Councilman
great
Saab
news.
talked about this. And there was a amount that we needed to pay for them to get the grant going, which we talked about. It's about $3,500. that they're gonna-
Good job, Councilman. How long before we're here, Chief?
I'm thinking sometime in the middle of July, we'll know if we rewarded the grant. But we cross your fingers, but we should have it.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Police Chief Hader, purchase and payment of ammunition.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the purchase and payment of ammunition from CMP Distributors for a total cost of $8,021. In addition, authorize the mayor and comptroller or clerk to sign the necessary warrants and the treasurer to issue payment from account 101-300-744-000. Furthermore, authorize a budget amendment to increase GL account 101-300-744-000 by $8,021 and decrease 101-300-962-000 by $8,021 as outlined in 9-J.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries.
Take it easy with this ammunition.
Yeah, we need it.
That's for training, right?
Next up is 9K, Parks and Recreation Director, purchase and payment of Berwyn Senior Center and Eaton Senior Center air condition.
Council Chair.
I'm going to go to the Councilwoman Breyer on this one.
Yeah, we'll take the senior person, right? Recommended motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the purchase and payment of 8 window air conditioning units, 4 for the Berwyn Center and 4 for the Eaton Center, at a cost of $658 each, totaling $5,264 through Amazon Business, which represents the best quote. These will be funded out of the 2024-2025 Parks and Recreation Budget Account Number 691-885, as outlined in 9K.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion? Thank you for taking care of our seniors director. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Tax Increment Financial Authority, Tifa Chairman Emery, Tifa Audit Report, June 30th, 2024.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
Move the Dearborn Heights City Council receive, note, and file the Tax Increment Finance Authority, TIFA, June 20th, 2024 audit report as outlined in 9-0.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All in favor, please state aye.
Aye. I just
Those
wanted to say
opposed?
it's a very impressive report.
Thank you, I read it as well. The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is ordinance and resolutions.
Council Chair, it's 9M, budget amendment.
I am sorry.
No problem, Council Chair.
9M budget amendment.
Council
You're right.
Chair, I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the following amendments to the budget. Decrease GL account 101-101-96000, City Council Travel Education by 1,000. Decrease GL account 101-101-818-000, City Council Media by 5,200. Decrease 101-101-728-000, City Council Supplies by 9,700. Decrease GL account 101-210-817-210, Corporation Council Professional Court Programs by 4,000. Decrease GL account 101-210-96000, Corporation Council Travel Education by 2,000. Decrease GL account 101-200-949-000, General Government City-Owned Properties by 8,900. Total budget amendment 30,800. Increase GL account 101-101-826-101, City Council legal fees by $39,140.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion?
Council Chair, Council Chair,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to put an objection on the record as a violation of Open Meetings Act. None of this was noted or posted prior to today's meeting, and to put this on the agenda without giving the citizens, the residents, a chance to review and check this, to review this proposal is disingenuous to the citizens. I think that if you want something this important to put on, you give proper notice, you follow the Open Meetings Act, and you post it beforehand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council Chair,
No,
how come you didn't object when
To the
Mehdi just did
Yep.
one?
No, guys, it's okay. We only pick and choose what we like and what we don't.
right. All right, come
No,
on.
it's just like we pick and choose when we follow a charter or ordinance.
You guys never follow the
You
charter.
want to do something with it, then go ahead. You can get upset all you
Come
want.
on, guys,
The
that's
truth.
what was done. We're doing good. We're doing good here right now, Roger.
Let's take it, though.
Guys, we're doing okay. Look, even Nancy, look how happy she is.
Yeah, let's do it.
All in favor for 9M to amend these GL accounts, which actually majority belong to the city council, to be able to pay the legal fees and have the budgeted back there, because mind you, for those who don't know, we did budget $100,000. The administration took $50,000 away from it to use for their budget that they couldn't stick to because they went over on their budget. So,
Council Chair?
Yes.
Before we move on, I would just want to say thank you to Madam Clerk. She helped big time with this, so thank you, Madam Clerk, for your hard work.
Madam Clerk is the greatest woman ever. Ever. Like, the city of Dearborn Heights is lucky to have her.
Council Chair, thank you so much for actually doing what you're doing. But I just want to know, since we have an empty plaque up there, can I put charter violator on it? Put it at the chair?
Come on.
Come on, guys, come on, let's
We
keep
can
it
pick and
professional.
chooses.
All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Me.
you don't want to pay your special legal counsel? Okay.
Well, he didn't file it.
You don't have a special legal counsel
Because it
for
was-
that, Council
it was-
Chair, as I said before.
Guys, she's right. She's
Right.
She has
But
the
I
right
just want to explain anything because it was attorney-client, there was stuff that was privileged because of the lawsuit.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
That's not the reason.
All right.
All right, Madam Clerk, please take roll call. It's okay.
Hassan Ahmad,
Yes.
Hassan Saab,
Yes.
Robert Constant,
Yes.
Nancy Breyer,
No.
Mo Betu.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Guys, nothing from the audience, please. Thank you. I know, no talking in the audience either, Mrs. Jeanette. Next up is Treasurer Hicks Clayton, electronic signature policy resolution.
Council Chair?
Council Chair,
Councilman Saab.
honestly, as much as I want to support this, the language needs to be better on this.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah.
Council Chair,
Well, guys, we either have a dead on arrival or we have a motion that passes.
Can we just refer it back, clarify, clear it up?
Somebody
Okay, so we need to make a
Okay.
motion to refer it
Council
back.
Chair, I make a motion on 11A to refer it back for more clarification, understanding, and bring it back.
Can I get a second?
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab to refer this back, seconded by Councilman Ahmad to change the verbiage. Councilman, will you speak with the treasurer on things that you want changed on there?
Absolutely.
Council Chair, may I speak?
Hang on one second,
Thank you,
ma'am,
sir.
please. Yes, sir, Councilman.
yeah, and there's state law, as our realtors know, regarding electronic signatures. And
That's correct.
you know, when we'll get a paycheck, one of our paychecks that'll have a signature on there, I mean, this is no small thing. So we don't want to crisscross or make things more difficult.
Will you
than
send
they
us
need
an
to be.
email of the things you think that needs to be addressed on this?
Yes.
Thank you.
And if the treasurer can have communication with the chief of staff to make sure.
That's what I want to address.
Will you get with would you get with the
Treasurer?
treasurer about this as
Please.
well, Madam Chief of Staff? Madam Treasurer?
May I speak to that? I will concur with Councilman Constant. There's a Michigan state law, which is MCL 450.831-849. So what I was going to make a recommendation, and this will answer to what Chief of Staff was addressing for clarification, include verbiage that the signature, we would exempt state and federal documents, but require it for your local, like your city-issued checks and warrants, because I am very concerned with technology and AI. There's a lot of security breaches. We hear about it every day. Every time I go to talk to other treasurers, we're hearing about cases of fraud and other problems. I think the longer you wait, this would be a concern. We're all about securing the public's funds, the safeguarding the funds. So if you look at section 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth paragraph, it talks about, we're talking about city services, city goods, city checks and warrants, not federal and state documents, financial documents. I think you might maybe consider just amending it in your adopting the resolution, because that is acknowledged with that state act that I just read off.
So, Council Chair, again, the verbiage needs to be corrected. It's not about amending it or putting it right on, rushing it. There's hundreds of checks that go out in the city. You can't have somebody sitting there all day just physically signing every check. There are security clauses in electronic signatures when checks are signed and everything. Doesn't mean an electronic signature is fraud.
Right.
There's certain ways. There's encryption on checks. There's magnetic inks on checks when they're printed. There's a lot of other ways that we can go forward. I understand what you're trying to do here, and I'm not saying no, but the verbiage on it is incorrect.
Fine.
And it's something that if we're going to do city across, it's got to support where you're saying federal, state, federal, local, but also the county sends us stuff to sign, they're electronic, or it's going to go back, or if we get a check from somewhere, or a check has got to go back, you can't wait on somebody to be here to physically sign it.
And I understand, duly noted. I'm just very concerned about safety and security with AI.
No, we're concerned too.
AI,
Let's work on the
it's not-
verbiage.
yeah.
and
Technology is made for
It continues
advancement.
to advance.
It's advancement,
Yes.
it's not going back. So as much as you want to feel secure, anybody can forge a signature also.
Absolutely.
in writing.
Absolutely. And we have to do whatever we can to safeguard. And we don't have a policy. And this is something that's been discussed over 2 years ago.
So, Council Chair, I still recommend my motion to refer it back, and we'll bring it back in another meeting.
Okay, we'll refer this back. We'll get with the verbiage. Madam Treasurer, please get with Councilman Saab, Councilman Constant, and our Chief of Staff, Mariana, on this one. And then I think, we figure out, I think we just steal the best practices from other municipalities, different counties, and see what they're doing as well. All in favor to refer this back by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is business license renewal, Applebee's number 8085.
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the business license renewal for Applebee's number 8085 at 26582 Ford, as outlined in 13-A.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion?
Was the issues resolved? Okay, thank you.
I will say Applebee's is the place after a football game on a Friday night. You would swing by there. I'd get some shrimp and I'd get a blondie. It was great as a kid and I still enjoy it. Take my son, you get some pasta. You guys should check it out. It's your neighborhood bar and grill.
They had a violation. They had a violation of, or they did not have a violation.
They had
It's
a
been resolved.
violation from last, Council Chair, from last March that was paid for and taken care of. The Liquor Commission approved them until 2026.
March of
in April.
2020.
2024, yes. May of 2024.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor to approve of Applebee's, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up here, we have public comments. I'm sorry. We have comments from council members.
Council Chair.
Councilman.
A few things. One, keep talking about speeding. Please tell your kids school's out. Speeders it's insane. What's going on in the neighborhood? Not with the young lady was speaking earlier about it. Got to do better. The parents got to do better at home. I want to give a thank you to Director V over there from the Ordinance Department. I reached out to him a week ago regarding some residents that were very upset on a street regarding adjacent property, and honestly, he's stepped up and really handled it well, him and his department, so I appreciate that, sir. Another thing is, please, man, cut your lawns. I swear, I was over the weekend, I was riding my moped around the city. Oh, my God. I cannot believe that the people just cut your lawns. I I mean, honestly, I want to put an whatever we got to do with our ordinance to bring them, just to send a city like Dearborn does within 24 hours, have our contractor out there cutting them and just charge them $500-600 for it. When you hit them in their pockets, they'll start cutting them. It looks horrible. The city looks absolutely horrible. And then one last thing. There's a lot of kids going around at night messing with people's doorbells in the city, wearing masks and stuff. It's the easiest way to get yourself shot. Just don't do it. And I'm reading on social media and seeing the stuff I'm seeing. Just don't do it. It's not worth the hype. It's a TikTok thing going around. You're going to scare somebody and somebody's going to end up shooting somebody. It's just not worth it. Again, it goes back to the parents at home. Discipline your kids. Thank you.
I will go next here. Thank you so much to everybody. I have to just piggyback on a few things. As I walk through neighborhoods in the city of Dearborn Heights, I'm so disappointed with the blight. It is absolutely crazy. When it rains and it gets hot, weeds and everything starts to grow, and I know sometimes it's hard to maintain, but it is like every other home now is falling into some type of blight. Like nobody's upkeeping. My recommendation is to our administration is maybe you send out a notice saying, hey, this is our expectations, what your home needs to look like. And you can give examples. And if not, you have a 24-hour notice. And then first notice was your expectation of what your home needs to look like. But we need to do better. It's very, very disheartening to see, even me, living right next door, I've had to tell my neighbor, like, cut your grass. Your trash is all over your home. It's so disappointing to see the way things are really going. And I really, really hope that there's a change, and maybe our administration can come out and really start tackling down some of this blight that's taking place. It's very upsetting. And I also want to speak a little bit about the short-term rentals. The fact that it wasn't unanimously approved, this is me speaking as a resident. I am not speaking as a councilman, but as a resident, the fact that it wasn't unanimously approved, I'm so disappointed in that. Because we know that there have been major dangerous activities taking place at some of these Airbnbs. And it's not like people are coming in traveling because they want to go see the Henry Ford Village. What's happening is people are allowing their children, the most recent incident was allowing their children to come in and take advantage of these short-term rentals, to have their block party or to have their graduation party, and then a shooting takes place. It's not welcome in our city, plain and simple. Lastly, let's talk about the reckless driving. It's gotten so much worse. People don't feel safe in their home. I call on our police chief to please offer stronger enforcement. We need to go back to those really strong days, and we're not there anymore. And so I hate having to walk my children in the neighborhood. It's sad. And I have to watch every time I'm walking when the car flies by. If I'm walking on Hess, it's crazy. I can't walk my dog, can't take my children out. It's very disappointing. Lastly, 4th of July weekend is taking place. We won't probably be back here until after 4th of July. I do ask to our residents that the state law is 3 things. July 3rd, July 4th, July 5th. Those are the only days you can do fireworks. Be mindful of your neighbors. Be careful as you're lighting this up. And just keep in mind that a lot of animals have a lot of stress when they hear on some of these fireworks. Be mindful of your neighbors. Be mindful of the animals that live in the home, the cats, the dogs, the birds. But remember that some of your neighbors that sleep early don't want to wake up to this at 10 p.m. when they went to bed at 8 o'clock. They don't want to smell the carcinogens. So if you can go to a big space, if you can go to a friend's house out of the city of Dearborn Heights, we would love that. It's not that we don't want you to do it. We want you to be able to enjoy the 4th of July, but just be mindful of your neighbors. Be careful. And remember that our police department, our fire department are so busy on 4th of July because we're seeing so many mistakes taking place where people are losing their limbs, and it's a great time to enjoy the poolside, enjoy the barbecue, enjoy all the festivities. And if you can watch the fireworks from a place outside of Dearborn Heights, let's all do that. But if you are going to enjoy it in the city of Dearborn Heights, be mindful of our police and fire. And thank you so much. And happy birthday to my wife.
Oh, yes.
July 3rd.
All right. To expand upon what you just said, first of all, one of our best ticket writers is sitting right over here. She goes after speeders with a vengeance. So I think she deserves.
Can we point the camera on?
She deserves an award.
Yes, that's okay. You keep it up. And the other thing, I think we should acknowledge our ordinance director. He just lost his brother. Could we do a moment of
I
silence?
did that at the last meeting, but if you want to do it again, we can.
Yes, I think we should.
Thank you. Director Lefebvre, we did it at the last city council meeting where we gave our blessings and prayers to your family and a moment of silence to your deceased brother. Thank you. Anything else, Councilwoman?
Not until announcements.
All right. Any other
Council Chair, Director, my condolences to you and your family again, and sorry for your loss, and thank you for all you do. I mean, Directors, you've been doing an amazing job. I mean, every time we reach out, you're on top of your stuff, so thank you for the great work you've been doing. I also want to echo whatever Councilman Saab and Councilman Baidoon said. I'm not going to repeat all the stuff, but I would like to wish everybody happy and safe 4th of July. But I do have a favor to ask. Today, everyone, if you don't mind, before going to bed, please pray for world peace. There's so much injustice, cruelty, and bloodshed all over. I mean, we need to pray. So please help me pray tonight before you go to bed. And maybe pray for our president to make the right decisions. I think he needs our prayers. God bless you all. And again, happy 4th of July. Thanks, Council Chair.
Council Chair? Yes. Yes, Councilman Constant.
Thank you, Council Chair. If people are going to shoot off fireworks, don't do it in our residential neighborhoods. People have animals, people have dogs. Go do it in a field or somewhere out in the open. People have pets. And please, everyone, can they please slow down? Also to add what my good friend Councilman Ahmad mentioned, I was very disappointed to see that the president, without consulting Congress or anyone else, executed on an order to spend billions of dollars for this mission to bomb Iran at the request of Israel. Some of the bombs dropped cost $1 million or more. Thus far, the U.S. has been involved in wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, Gaza, the West Bank, Lebanon, Syria, and now Iran.
Ukraine.
And, well, at the request of Israel, and I think that spending has got to stop. That's it, Council Chair.
Thank you. Anyone else? Council, seeing none, we'll give it over to announcements. Director McCaffrey, beautiful new haircut.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Council Chair and Mayor. Just want to talk about a couple of items. First off, this Saturday, June 28th, all day at JFK Library from 12 to 4, so not all day, 12 to 4, will be the latest installation of Small Business Saturday. We will have over 30 local small businesses selling their wares, so come on out and support small business. Wanted to thank all of our staff who worked hard putting on the summer reading program this past weekend. Had a couple well-attended programs and a great turnout. I wanted to thank Officer Hojej and the Chief, Haidar, for facilitating explorers to come on out and help us. They'll be at a number of other events coming up, so thank you very much. And maintenance for all their hard work in cleaning up the property and all the volunteers from Crestwood Honor Society as well. Finally, I wanted to announce in the coming month that we'll be recognizing staff that have worked with the library and supported their community for a good amount of time. We have 20 staff that have been with us for over 10 years between full and part-time. And I will be posting about those staff in the coming months. And finally, one more thing, putting on my Rotary hat, I wanted to offer an invite to the Wounded America bike ride. This is a motorcycle ride that starts in Taylor and goes all through downriver to raise money for veterans. The ride is Saturday, July 19th in front of Cordy's Collision. The riders usually come by between 10:30 and 11:30. If you want to come out and wave some flags and support veterans in person, you can do that, or you can donate to the Taylor Rotary Club or sponsor a rider. I have some flyers here I will give to the clerk, and they can be passed down. Thanks for your time, and see you at the library.
Thank you so much, Director.
Thank you.
I also just want to make a quick correction. I know Councilman Constant said light up your fireworks at the parks. It's actually illegal to light up the fireworks at the park. Don't do that.
Sue had a panic attack.
Yeah, in other words,
Not at the
open
park.
fields out of the city.
Do it in Dearborn parks.
Yeah. No, don't do it in any parks.
No, do it in the park.
Out of the open areas, go to the lake or whatever.
Just don't do fireworks in Dearborn Heights. There you go.
Do it in Councilman Constant backyard.
Not in our residential
That's
neighborhood.
condos.
All right, guys. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Lisa Hicks Clayton, treasurer, speaking as treasurer. I want to thank the Honorable Council Chair and council members for requiring the general ledger balances and before you approve an invoice or a payment, and also providing what the balance would be after you make that payment or approval. And to refer back, if something is, that information is not presented to this honorable body, to refer back to department heads or the comptroller's office. I will tell you that, according to Public Act 2, of course, you can move money within general ledgers within a department budget. That's Public Act 2. But I also will tell you, with our gap, it's very important that you, the honorable body, approve amendments. That there's going to be something brought, it should be brought to you first. You should have the opportunity to approve that because you approve the budget. You adopt the budget. When I go to check checks, and I'll tell you, I get them every week, I'm sending some back because the general ledgers are exhausted. They can do that. They can move the money, but it should come to you as an amendment first, not afterwards. So I just want to thank you for that and encourage you, and thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Madam
Thanks.
Treasurer.
Good evening, Lynn
You're
Senya.
everybody's favorite clerk, ladies and gentlemen.
Lynn Senya, City Clerk. This is just a reminder that in 2 days, June 26th, there will be 40 days before the August 5th primary, and our absentee ballots will be taken to the post office for mailing, 40 days. This City Hall will then become a polling location. So this is just a reminder to our candidates that there's no campaigning within 100 foot of the building. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other announcements? Yep. Sure. I'm going to go with our Councilman Breyer. and then
All right. We do have a meeting tomorrow night at 3335 South Beach Daily, 6 p.m. for the Ecorse Creek, but more importantly, on Thursday, the 26th, 7 p.m., same location, 3335 South Beach Daily, we will be interviewing all the mayoral candidates at 7 p.m. Come early, we're getting a lot of attention. They'll be given a 3-minute introduction. They will then be asked some predetermined questions. If you have any you want to ask, get them to me, and we'll get them going. And then we will let the audience ask questions as well. So please come and find out what's going on who's who.
Would dinner
Thank
be
you.
served, or
What's that?
any dinner would be served?
No, we're probably going to have a few cookies. Lisa's taking stuff, I'm taking stuff, and our chairperson's taking stuff. So the first come, first served.
The flyers thing, 1 minute introduction.
Who did that one?
It's 1 minute.
I understood from our president that it's 3.
It don't matter. 3 minutes
So
sounds better to me.
it'll be somewhere in the middle of 2 and 3. Yeah, prepare it, Mo. Don't go over. We got a buzzer.
You have to buzz me.
Tim Emery's going to be in charge.
How you doing, sir?
All right.
Everybody's favorite DPW director.
There you go. John Dancy, DPW Director here. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus, I think, from speaking up here, but I've been encouraged by a number of residents, employees, councilmen, elected officials to get up and say a few things, give us a few updates. I'm just going to run through a handful of different things. In the coming months, I plan on being up here a little bit more to address individual issues, but announcements-wise, we're having a lot of issues with cars parked during garbage can pickup. So again, move the cars, put your garbage cans in the extension. I don't know if in the past, sometimes it's been said to put them in the street, wherever. If they're on the grass extension, it helps us a lot when we do get street sweepers out. City-owned lots, I'm working with police and ordinance to keep up on our city-owned lots. We have a lot of residents that are just illegally or illicitly putting stuff on city lots, dumping stuff on city lots, parking trailers, using them. I do want to push the council, administration, city in the coming months to hopefully work on a way to actually get these lots sold. They're costing, I think, residents and the city a lot of issues, a lot of excess costs that sometimes doesn't get documented, but I think needs a little bit of attention. Islands, dead-end cul-de-sacs, right now the city we're actively working on trying to maintain some, and we've had a lot of calls on them. If you're a resident on a cul-de-sac, you can call the city, but we are going to really rely on a lot of residents in those areas, and I'm going to push for in the future finding some way to get actually something adopted by the council, by the city, to place the responsibility of those onto the residents in the area. Trees and area repairs, we're getting a lot of phone calls on trees right now. Somebody's going to be first, somebody's going to be last. We're working on it. If you have any issues, you can still call the DPW. Like I said, there are 2 individuals that answer the phone calls. This is the time of year when a lot of them take time off. So there are times where you may not get a response right away, but there is a way to be able to leave messages there. We do try to get back to everybody as quick as we can. Our meter change-out program, we're about 28% through the entire project. It's going pretty well. It does have its moments where we get phone calls from residents, but again, I just kind of encourage council members, elected officials to push the fact that this city is long overdue for water meter change-out program. It will help with the timeliness of bills, reading, accuracy, customer service on that end. Last, hiring employees. DPW is still actively looking for employees. We've hired a couple of great employees, I think, that have been getting good feedback from supervisors and coworkers. Again, I need any individual that knows how to use a shovel, pick up more than 50 pounds, show up to work on time, has a CDL, can pass a background check. I'm giving preference to residents in Dearborn Heights. So if you're a Dearborn Heights residents, please consider applying, especially if you have a CDL.
Director, I just want you to know, a resident called me, has that CD, whatever it is.
CDL.
Has the license, he's applied, he said, I've applied about 3 weeks ago and he still hasn't come back.
All right. I'm working with HR because HR is obviously the head of that. Yeah.
And he's
Like I
a
said.
former, FedEx driver, he's really hands-on.
Perfect. Yep. And like I said, I'm working with HR. Our HR director has been doing a great job, I think, at least getting back with other directors, other individuals around the city. Again, that's quite the undertaking for that department. Last, just a couple of reporting numbers. Highway, these are for May. 61 labor hours spent street sweeping, 672 hours spent cold patching around the city. Our water department repaired 20 breaks, responded to 6 sewer cleaning emergency response, 4 gate wells that were leaking, 1 hydrant that was replaced. They've actively been working on area repairs, but with the overtime issues currently, you figure you got not enough employees for the amount of work getting done, so just be patient with us. Maintenance departments repaired 35 different work orders, not to mention all the little items that other departments ask for repeatedly. And then highway, water, building maintenance. Building maintenance does absolutely everything in the city, so everybody keep that in mind. Building maintenance and grounds. Like I said, if you have any issues with city-owned properties, parks, buildings, call the office. Our 2 building maintenance supervisors are around the city all the time, every day. And that's about it.
Thank you.
Yep.
You do a
Council
great
Chair?
job and you do a great job at communicating.
Council
Director.
Chair?
Yes.
John, I have one complaint that happened on our street.
Sure.
The guys with the cleaning the street with one of our new machines came 2 days before trash day.
Okay. There were,
It's better if it's after trash day.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. And sometimes every once in a while we'll get specific areas that we'll go out and hit, but I will make sure as often as possible it does come during garbage day. And like I said, we're working with police and fire for different ways to enforce, but I just want residents to be aware. You don't always make residents happy when we start enforcing a lot of this stuff, so.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other announcements? I think Councilman Ahmad just wants to play a quick video.
Just want to echo whatever the director said about the garbage bin. I mean, I know if you guys follow the Dearborn Heights City Council page on Facebook or social media, we had a video. Please, if somebody is not following those pages, please follow it. It's called the Dearborn Heights City Council page on Facebook and Instagram. And this is like a video we did we did it in a, in a humorous way so people can,
What happened here, though? Sorry about that. Where do you see that?
In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll open it up to public or actually.
If anybody wants to see it, they can go online and see it.
Very nice.
Residents will be able to see it. Pretty active page.
It's just kind of slow. Almost there. Where do you see it?
Keep going, keep
Right
going,
here?
keep going, keep going. You're almost there. It's right here. It's coming up. Right.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
There it is. There's the one. That's what you're supposed to do.
It showed.
It's a very funny video. Probably the TV's probably muted.
Right.
Maybe you need to unmute.
Unmute his,
Garbage day is Monday, so why am I out here?
It's my computer.
For 4 days, yeah.
I think this TV has to.
Why don't you narrate, Council Chair?
Okay, we'll just go.
We'll have Councilwoman Breyer.
it's all right. Let's open it up. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's just open it up to public comments. I'm going to start it off
Tell me what
with
about
the
the raccoon.
in-person first.
Nice job, by the way,
Thank you.
is putting this together.
So
Think
don't
that's
put
what
your,
it is, yes.
your trash cans out until after 6 PM the day before trash day.
100%.
Go ahead, ma'am.
And
Please state
keep
your
it
name,
on,
the city residing, the street that you live on. You got 3 minutes.
Hi, Sue Kaminsky, Amboy Street. You know how when you guys say you authorize the mayor and the city clerk to sign the contract, blah, 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 can we add on there, because of the games being played, that the signed contract to be given back to the city clerk and to city council, just to alleviate any questions or concerns, because I know there's a problem with communication.
That's a great,
To the city clerk, that's the way it
And
should
then,
be.
not always. And then if they come,
But we have a lot that are not signed.
right.
Oh, wow.
And then, I'm driving around and I'm driving in Dearborn and they have flowers out and it looks really nice, right? And they have parks and then Garden City, they have flowers out and they get them from Barson's and they look really nice. And Westland has them, and Livonia, and Redford, and Inkster. You want to know what city doesn't have any flowers out?
Do we know anybody that'll donate them?
And how embarrassing, okay? How embarrassing. And I was raised in Inkster, and I'm not ashamed of that. I'm proud of that. But Inkster always has had financial problems, and Dearborn Heights was always considered to be a step above. And Inkster has flowers. Shame on us. It's so embarrassing. The other thing is the fireworks have been going off, and everyone knows I listen to the police radio fairly frequently to fall asleep at night. I put it on. Do you know we're short-staffed police? I've probably never mentioned that we're short-staffed police, right? But our poor police are getting called to go to firework complaints, and so they can't arrest speeders. They can't patrol the city properly because, I'm mad at my neighbor Sam for lighting off one stupid firework. Are you kidding me? Leave our police alone. Let them do what they're paid to do. And if you have that many problems, go talk to your neighbor, but don't call the police, and you know what's going to happen. And by the time the police get there, the fireworks are gone, and so the police say unable to locate anybody, and it's a waste of our revenue, our time, their time, and the respect for our officers. Do better. Happy 4th of July, and thanks.
Thank you.
I don't want to say too much, but I know, I was told by Sue's friend, and I'm not supposed to say anything here, but just keep Sue and her animals in your prayers. Sue is, very dear to us, and her family right now needs our prayers. God bless you, Sue. Thank you, ma'am. Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on. You have 3 minutes.
3 minutes, bro. Renee Murrah, Annapolis, Dearborn Heights. First, I want to say, right before the storm came, I noticed that the street sweeper came by, so awesome job for that, because our street didn't flood for the first time in a long time with hard rain. Normally, I have some, like, waders, I go down the street and unplug the sewers and all that, but great job. I didn't have to do it, so I have to retire my boots. I started coming to the city council meetings because Allen Park recommended that I come here for excitement, but the kind of excitement I saw here today kind of disturbed me. And one of the things is, I did talk to the mayor about why doesn't he come to these meetings, and he gave me a specific reason, a couple of reasons. And so since I had talked to him, which was a couple months ago, I sat back and I just watched to see if what he was saying was true, and unfortunately, a lot of what he said was true. Number one, I wanted to apologize to Roger Farina for the way he was treated today. It was absolutely shameful. When anybody asks him a question, then they immediately talk over him or roll their eyes or have private conversations and laugh, roll their head, roll their eyes. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was disrespectful and terrible. We talk about the kids going out there and blaming the parents for how they're acting. How are we acting in here when someone's talking? When he's here to represent the law and he's telling you something and the eyes roll and private conversations go on. It was very shameful. It was saddening to me that there's no respect in here, that when the people will clap or start commenting and just throwing out things. This is all disrespectful. If we're not supposed to talk, then we're not supposed to talk no matter what. Whether you agree or not, take it up during the public comments. But I would hope to see from here forward, because, there's elections coming up, and I don't know what counts for brownie points or not, but poor Nancy Breyer, I've seen you overruled so many times for seconding motions that I was just like in shock. I was just in shock. Seems like there's three that you hear, and then, Mr. Constant never says a word. So I think he just said it's not worth it. But I don't know. All I know is that I'm hoping, see, the comments keep going on. And this is what I'm saying. There needs to be respect. There needs to be respect here. We're not going to be respected by any other city if we can't even respect each other to listen to a conversation, even if we don't agree. Or listen to the people that are presenting. A couple of people I saw in the hallway, they were so frustrated because they were trying to make a point and they were talked over. I agree with her. Do better, guys.
Thank you. I just want to, anyone else in the audience? Okay, we'll take it to Zoom. We'll start off with Margaret King. With 17 agenda items, Councilwoman Breyer was called on 9 times for seconds. I just want to make it clear, and so, sometimes everybody says it at once and I hear the first. It's nothing personal, but I just wanted to set the record straight that Councilwoman Breyer's name was chosen 9 times out of 17. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Chair. I'll yell.
Councilman Constant, I didn't count yours, but I just wanted to set the narrative straight. I don't want anybody to think that it's a pick and choose or it's a certain 3. Like, that's not what it is. I just want to comment on one other thing, and this is for my personal, I don't roll my eyes at Roger. I kind of let Roger speak out, but there's no trust. There's a lot of mistrust currently right now, and so I'm telling you for my sake, I let Roger do his thing, but I think the Renee, who comes to this meeting, also fails to remember that many times Roger gets up here and speaks and doesn't go through the chair. Because Roger would not go into a courtroom and not say your honor, he wouldn't just start speaking while the judge is speaking. But, the respect goes both ways. And so if there was respect to the chair, then there would be respect, and I like to believe I give Roger a lot of respect. And if I don't, Roger, I apologize sincerely. And I'm a man of that. That's okay to, be apologetic sometimes. But I just want to set the record straight. Councilwoman Breyer was chose 9 times. Thank you. Margaret King, please state your name, the city reside in, the street that you live on. You got 3 minutes.
Margaret King, Mayfair Street, Dearborn Heights. There's the project that's going on at Folk. I don't know if there's a weight limit to the semi trucks that go by up and down our streets. But that was a concern that I had. I know they're out filling potholes and stuff, but being homeless last 2 weeks, I've noticed the semi trucks going up and down with the dirt and shaking the houses and stuff. So it was just a concern I had, and I wanted to bring it up. That's all.
Thank you so much, Mrs. King. Next up,
Thank you.
we're gonna go up with Mr. Owen. You have 3 minutes. Please state your name, the city reside in, and the street that you live on.
Good afternoon. I would like to keep that private because I got a lot of people that don't like me. So, because I speak the truth, Mr. Baidu. My name is Hollywood, just to let you know.
Mr. Hollywood, please continue.
I just wanted to inform everybody that why is the chief of police Hart getting paid? That's a problem that I want to address to you guys. You guys know what I'm talking about. You're paying an employee that doesn't even work for the city. Does anybody have any answers? I think Mr. Saab would love to answer this question.
I'm gonna ask all council members to refrain from answering that question. Mr. Owen, please pause this time. Because of the federal injunction, we're gonna ask that we refrain from answering any of this.
Well, what does the federal injunction have to do? Oh, you got another federal injunction? Oh, God. The city is going through a crisis. And you wonder why this is going on. There's something in the city that's not adding up. And you know what the problem is? Every time you ask Ali Deeb a question, he always stutters. And that's a problem. That's a problem you guys are not understanding. Ali Deeb is the big macho guy. He's the big problem. And nobody understands that this guy is sticky fingers. And I've said this 100 times. Get rid of Ali Deeb and all your problems will go away.
Like I'm gonna ask you to refrain from any type of accusations.
I can say whatever I want, freedom of speech.
I just want you to refrain from making
Very
any
simple.
accusations, please.
It's not accusations, it's called sticky fingers.
Please, point of order, I'm gonna ask you to refrain from doing
You know
that.
what butterfingers is? Did you ever put butter on your fingers? It's called butterfingers. It's very simple. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Butterfingers would actually be slippery.
And I'm gonna say this to the record, everybody that's listening. I think Mo Baidoun has done a lot for the community, and if you'll be the next mayor, and I hope so.
Unfortunately, we can't politic here.
Hold on, Mr. Baidoun, don't cut me off, please. I'm asking you, don't cut me off. Mr. Baidoun has done a lot. If Mr. Baidoun makes a mistake, I heard it right now, he even said it, I will apologize. That's the person that you guys need. We have some guy right now like a clown, doesn't even come to a city council meeting, doesn't even do nothing.
Mr. Owen, I'm sorry, you have to refrain, we're not allowed to you can't talk politics during these public.
Well, I can do whatever I want, you can't talk politics.
Cut him off. Remove him.
Point of order, guys, I got it.
Interrupt me. I can say whatever I want.
Thank you, Mr. Owen.
Stop, point of order for you, not me, buddy. I'm speaking. Just to let you know, my ears are very loud, Mr. Saab. I know you don't like me. You don't have to like me.
That wasn't Mr. Saab, actually.
Oh, it wasn't Mr. Saab. But, Mr. Saab don't like me. It's okay. Hate me. It's no problem with me. Mr. Baidoun, like I said to you, I am allowed to speak.
Your time is up, Mr. Owen.
Okay. Have a great.
Thank you. Thank you. How you doing, man? Please state your name, the city reside in, and the street that you live on.
Hi, guys. Rachel LaPointe, Merrick Street, Dearborn Heights. I will say, just on one of my favorite soapboxes. I know the councilwoman and I can disagree on this, but Mr. Ayoun is correct that he does have a broader First Amendment rights at this moment than political candidates would in regards to things. And just a reminder, when it comes to defamation, if he is defaming someone, that person can sue, and that would be the remedy against him misusing his First Amendment rights. Some comments from tonight. Thank you guys for passing the action plan and making sure that there was some conditions on that about getting additional projects and notifications out. I hope that the communication goes much better than how it did the first part of the year. And that they do reach out to Leslie Windlass with Thrive by Any Means Necessary so that we can maybe get some funding for the community food pantry down here in the south end. And the board would love to, you know, discuss some other big plans we have with the department. I had a thought when it came to people getting their lawns mowed. And I'm not sure if this is something that Director McCafferty has looked into before, but I know sometimes libraries have tool lending libraries. And if there's somebody who couldn't afford like a weed whacker or a lawnmower, maybe we can get a few for the libraries to have that could be lent out for like 3 days at a time. And I know with bigger items like that, it can be a little nerve wracking, but I know they've already started doing hot spots and stuff like that. So it might be easy to kind of extend that program. If they don't already have it, maybe I've just missed it. And then with the police department and the gun safety stuff, they never really did an update about if they had caught the guy with the road rage incident. I had noticed it in like one news article,
They
but
did.
our own department, I didn't notice it on their Facebook page. Unless it's hidden or something, I don't know. But I saw it like on a news thing or in a comment somewhere on Facebook. So if we can just make sure that like the communication, especially when there's an incident like that, that gets very public, that we do have a public like sort of follow up to it, that would really be appreciated. Especially when it's a situation like that, if we don't know if it's someone who lives in the neighborhood or not, I think it would ease a lot of the stress when these situations happen, that we know that we're getting updates about it. And that's all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Mrs.
Motion to
LaPointe.
adjourn.
Anyone else in the audience? Anyone else on Zoom? Seeing none, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it.